What up, what up, what up, what up? 808, what's going on with you, my guy? What's up? Gonna be doing some techie talk today.
Too
Yeah,
cold?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Morning.
Yes,
I just
yes.
seen you
What's
up in
going
this in
on?
the space and seen some cool things that you guys are about to share.
Yeah, we got the dude who made the pathfinding
Yes,
app,
sir.
thanks to
Koen
Chris.
passed. That guy's bomb. Good friend of mine
Yeah.
too.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yep, we got him. Combat Kanga said, since he has somebody to nerd out with, he'll pull up. So, um,
That's a guarantee, bro. If Koen Pass is gonna pull up, he's gonna be. Of course, he's gonna roll up. They're both actually very long time old members of the Casino Coin community.
yeah, 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 that's what's up. Yeah, Neo, that's his name.
How you
Combat
did you
Kanga.
get your
Yeah.
pro beta going or what?
I sent him the DM. I haven't heard back from him. I haven't really checked my wallet either to see if it started yet. I will check it.
We have some.
And then I had a question because I got the same wallet on two devices. So will the beta work on both or will it just work on one device?
Shit, that I'm not sure. I deleted one of my wallets I had connected on my same Zoom wallet because of that XR phone thing. I didn't know if they were gonna because they're saying something about their process, yeah, and how they're using it. So I kind of deleted that one second wallet I had, which will only had my holding my XRP, and that was it. I was like, why the fuck do I even have this on here? I don't even have shit in it. I was like, I gotta get rid of it. But then what's fucked up is that's the one I opened up my original account to do the casino coin swap. So I don't know if that affects anything.
Yeah, well, it's not two different wallets because I got, like a Wi-Fi phone, right? One that just stays in the house, but it's not read only, right? It's full full access wallet still. And then I have, my wallet on my main phone too. So, the same wallet. So that's what I wanted to know if it was gonna be, will it be
Is that
available on
address
both?
the same?
Yeah, yeah, it's the same address, the same exact wallet.
So if it's the same address, it should be working on both. Not unless you have two different addresses on that one account. Because some wallet is only the UI connecting you to the Xrp Ledger and to your accounts, your wallets. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm loading up the Jumbotron with their stuff right now. I'm trying to put like some of their works up here, their coding works. Um, so that it's easy for folks. Come on, you stupid thing. Put the pathfinding info up there. Yeah, if it wasn't for Chris, right, I wouldn't know how to work that damn pathfinding app. I'm glad he showed me it. It is a real cool tool. And that's the thing is I don't think a lot of people know how to use it.
Oh, it's a bomb tool. Not only that, it's native to the XRPL. That's what's crazy about it. So with automated market makers, that amendment coming in, it utilizes pathfinding and something else. I forgot the second one it uses to that's gonna be crazy. Actually, it's very wild. But pathfinding is a cool yeah, is a bomb ass thing
Yeah.
that people should learn about because it.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad Chris showed me how to use it for sure.
Yeah, I finally got back up in Xrpcraft, so I'm gonna be buying me some land.
Finally.
Shit, finally, hell yeah! Like the last time I've been in there was during the glass dome was still wasn't even raised yet.
Oh, you was it was hella long. Yes, 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 yes. Where are we at? I haven't checked. What are we at? XRP. Okay, okay. Bitcoin. Okay, okay. I just need like just drop already below 18. Like just fucking dump the market, right? So everybody can just eat up these fucking dips that everybody's waiting for. Keep playing with us, right? Back and forth. Touch 20, go back down to 19. Touch 20, go back down to 19. Stupid little game they playing. Like, come on already, right?
That's that game they play. People lose patience. The masses lose patience, and they start blaming shit. It's hilarious,
Yeah.
man.
They play with your mind.
Yep, yep. You already know.
What I tell people, the easiest way you can do is you just gotta know how to mind fuck the mind fucks. That is
They
it.
want your bags and they want them cheap.
Oh yeah. They wanna
I sold most of my bags last year.
Hey, 808. I know this is totally off topic, but I think I told you guys I'm moving to Japan in about 3 4 months, and I just picked my dojo that I'm gonna join first day I get there. Gonna get back into it.
oh wow.
Got to get back into it.
Yeah,
There
808.
you go. There you
that's
go.
what's up.
That is
And
what's
too
up.
cold. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna try. I don't know. I like what you're doing. I'd like to share and I'd like to meet people in Japan through the NFT and crypto space. I would like to.
So there's a guy named Raytheon I'm friends with. He just touched down in Japan and is living there. He's doing a bunch of good stuff with crypto and block in crypto and stuff. He's also in the military, if I'm not mistaken. He talks to a lot of
I
generals.
think actually after the first time I think you told me about that guy. Was that the German guy?
Oh no, he's not German. He's not
Okay,
German.
okay. Someone else told me about another German guy who lives there and is really into crypto, but I'm thinking maybe I can help share some Japanese NFT artists with the rest of the world. Maybe get them more exposure. Japan, I see some of these spaces that I sit in. I don't understand a lot of Japanese, but I can pick out some words. And in some of the spaces, there's actually people that translate. So with any luck, maybe I'll be able to, when I get there, figure something out and try sharing some really cool Japanese NFT artists and a lot of them seem to like ETH. So I've been jumping into spaces saying, hey, check out Songbird, and got a few thumbs up. People might be interested in looking at Songbird now. Lately, it might be getting more exposure. And then, of course, XLS 20D, whenever that goes. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to see what's going on. Too Cold and 808. Going to use crypto as a way to meet people and the martial arts as a way to meet people too. So hopefully those two.
I might be heading up in Japan later on this year if my daughter's halal makes it there because they have a very big hula and Hawaiian thing that goes up up there. My daughter's kumu actually has hula lessons. She teaches up there in halaus, which is classes up in Okinawa as well. And also, we do have a lot of connections over there with for martial arts and Kaji Kembo and Chinese Kempo and all that. So yeah, no, you're correct. There's gonna be a lot of connections. It's gonna be
Oh
great to
yeah,
see,
no, it's
man.
it's one of
Can't
those
wait.
families where you can go and you can just no matter where it is. I don't have to speak Japanese to understand what we're doing. I do understand the technique names are all in Japanese, right? But yeah, there's like, and I think I told you there the Shinyuan, the Buddhist group that I belong to for a long time. we do that event in Hawaii, the Lantern Festival. That's kind of one that's put on in conjunction with our Buddhist group. So all
I
those
just was
lanterns.
gonna say, weren't that they're the same people?
Yeah, no, that's a big one. That is on my bucket list to go experience that one day. Um, I got a few relatives that have passed on that I'd like to do that service for, and yeah, I'll go there one day, probably whenever maybe if XRP ever moons, maybe, and I actually have some money, that'd be nice. But it's on my bucket list. So, but if you go to Tokyo, if you ever go there, I'm only like 45 minutes from downtown where I'm going to be staying. So hit me up. We'll go grab a beer and shoot the shit.
Oh, guarantee I'm gonna hit you up. Yeah, like I said, my daughter guys is halal. They
Yeah.
do. We have a hula competition for these young girls. Yeah, and the winners get to perform in Japan and get to showcase and share the culture and also with what the young kids up there. Because a lot of the young kids up there that dance hula, man, they dance it very well. For people that's not of Hawaiian descent, yeah, they really love the
Well,
Hawaiian
my 3-year-old
culture
daughter
and stuff
would
like
probably
that.
love
It's
it.
wild.
I got a 3-year-old. She'd probably love to try hula. I bet she's almost 4 here, but you know, I figured she's got the
The
moves.
correct age to learning, because it's not just learning how to dance, it's the culture behind it. It's a practice. It's something you take on a journey throughout your life, learning, not just dancing hula, because it's the history behind it and the songs you dancing has meaning to it, of the places you go to, just a lot of historical facts and a lot of our hula. But yeah, sorry about going on about what's not about topic.
No,
No,
it's
it's all
cool
good.
stuff.
We chilling. We chilling. I ain't tripping. Keep talking.
But yeah, you guys would love this.
Well, we'll
He
see.
hopefully he
I
does
want
it
to.
correctly though, yeah, because there's gonna be a lot of skepticism coming from a lot of us Hawaiians. But hopefully they do it very correctly. I but they it's a very cool story about Kaiana and his wife. What a lot of people don't know about our Hawaiian culture is the women in our in our culture fought alongside the men in war, and we're one of the best warriors in some of our royal armies that we had. Also, one of the best marksman shooters that used to shoot muskets back in the days. Man, it was, yeah. We had some fierce lady warriors, crazy. But yeah, you guys should listen. It's only on Apple TV. I think they're saying that they're showcasing that on.
Nice. Yeah, Japan is there. I think they're getting more broader with as the years go on. They were pretty homogenous. Um, Too cold. I watched a series called Black in Japan, and it was an interesting like YouTube series about people's experiences in Japan, um, being of color. And my wife's parents, they were one of the first families around to actually have like foreign students, and they used to get looks. They had this guy, I can't remember where he was from, but he was dark skinned and different, and they got looks. But they're pretty pioneers. I got lucky meeting my wife because a lot of, not a lot of, but some Japanese families can be like, nope, got to be a Japanese person or whatnot. So kind of got lucky there that they're accepting of me being not from Japan.
Oh no, yeah. Certain places you go over there, yeah. Even I did, but they're very respectful. All in all, very very respectful.
For sure. It's a pretty neat culture. We'll see how I can survive and hopefully thrive. But for me, it's about letting my daughter experience her culture and be with her grandparents over there. And yeah, should be a good experience for her.
I'm gonna be calling you up for some stuff, man, because some stuff from Japan is very expensive.
Yeah, I remember I tried to bring home some ninja stars for all my buddies here, and the Canadian border guards took them all. And I'm like, okay, you don't want to take a look at this katana that I bought as well? And they didn't care about the katana, but they really cared about those ninja stars. And you'd have to whip them super hard to get them sticking into a wall, right? Like they were just meant for, just decorations and souvenirs. But border control didn't like them too much, so they took them all, unfortunately.
I could
Bastards.
make ninja stars with paper.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think the Canadian border guards would have a problem with those, but I just thought it was hilarious. They
Hey, you can make
confiscated about
road bugs
$100.
very dangerous just using paper.
Um, okay,
Get someone in the
off
eye.
topic real quick. I just checked my wallets and I do not have the Pearl yet, so I don't know.
So I'm not too sure how they're gonna how Daniel's going about doing that. I
And
just
did
was
you
asking to
set your
see.
two code? Did you get my DM?
Shit,
No.
shit, sister, and I'm sorry, I have not set up my tip bot shit yet. I'm fucking slacking on that shit.
Okay. That it's the tip bot. Do you got the trust line? I'll send it to you privately. That's fine too. Whatever. If you want it,
I
I
gotta
mean,
set the
you don't
trust
have to
line.
take
Can you
it.
send me the trust line in the background?
Are you guys liking Casino Coin?
I've been in
Um,
Casino Coin since we could mine it, but I sold the top and then bought back in after it like crashed back in the days.
I see. Trust line. Right.
But I do like what they are building. They do have regulation OKs from where they are located, which is one of the strictest places in the UK for gambling and gaming and anti money laundering regulatory kind stuff, yeah. Coming out of the Isle of Man.
Yeah, I heard that's where they set up. That's a good place to set up if you're a gambling entity.
Yes, and they're also backed by the Knox groups of families, yeah, or Knox groups of companies based out over there, which is very they hold over 1 billion in assets, that company, and they also do a wide range of things from uh a whole bunch of things. It's a really what's about.
I think you're getting rugged. I heard a zap in my ear.
No, he's just playing the banjo a little bit, giving us a solo. Did we lose the 808?
Yeah, I think he's getting rugged. Your mic's muted now.
Yeah, I was rugged,
There you go.
but that was one of the reasons why I got in with them back in the days.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in before. I guess was it Daniel? Is that his name? He left and then he came back, and I was like, when he left, I was like, oh shit, I thought he was the big guy behind the project, and then he had left and then came back. So I thought that was a good sign. I don't know why he kind of stepped away for a bit there, or maybe he's takes a different position or whatnot. But I just want to support
But
projects
he
that are built
wasn't
on the
the one
Xrp
leading
Ledger.
it before. It was someone else. Yeah, it was the Casino Coin Foundation that was leading the project at that time. What was his name? I forget his name, but they had a the
I thought it started with a D. He's in my Twitter somewhere, I think.
oh no, his name doesn't start with it. It starts with a J.
All right, I'm thinking of that. I thought his name was Daniel or something like that. So is XRP gonna bust up through 33 cents today or what?
I don't know. Let me see. It's making a U-turn, but it's about to hit. It got pushed back down when it touched the 30 moving average, 30-day moving average on the hour. So if it breaks out of that, it'll go up a little bit.
Yeah, 33 seems to be pretty strong. It was bounced up against it a couple times last night, just wouldn't break it.
Mm-mm.
So I was in a bunch of spaces last night, bouncing around there, and there were some pretty crazy ones I popped into for a while. There was one guy talking about the Large Hadron Collider and saying they're opening up a demon portal. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I heard another guy using those voice effects that you were using there the other night. There, are those in Twitter? Those vocal effects?
Can say it again?
You know, when you made your voice that one time and you're calling out those trolls and haters, and you
Mm-hmm.
put this voice effect on, like, is that from Twitter?
No, it's not from Twitter. Not at all. I have a piece of equipment to make my space calls the shiznit.
You feel me? You know what I'm
Fuck, that's
saying?
hilarious. I laugh. So funny. It was even better when you were calling out those motherfuckers though that coming into your fucking space to, start up shit. Right? They got all this other space. They can start their own, but they feel they want to come in and cause shit. It's. I like it when spaces shut that shit down when you're having a good conversation and people try and derail it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I like fucking with them too. Like when they're not just screaming, right? Like the trolls that kind of come in and derail the conversation a little bit, right? Try to actually have conversation instead of just coming in like, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch!" Like, I hate those trolls.
Yeah, if you got an argument that's smart or something like that, or you got a good point, there are good points out there to be made.
Hey,
But
so I found the name John Caldwell. That was the guy that was running the head of the Casino Coin Foundation during that time before Daniel.
okay, yeah, just I remember for a brief time there. What was it like? End of last year or something like that. He stepped down or did something different, anyways, and
Oh no,
um,
he never did. Daniel never did step down. Um, they brought in another guy to be the COO or something like that.
all right. Yeah, I just remember thinking when he left, it didn't bode well for the project. But then all of a sudden there was a about face, and there was something that changed. Um,
It was Jax that left and then got brought back.
Too cold.
Um,
What's going on?
yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on?
Man, why you had to have Alex shook like that? He was
What did I do?
when he was at the cookout. He was like, I don't think she liked me, man. I'm like, bro, yo, shut the hell up.
What are you talking about?
He when you was asking him questions. I'm like, hell no. Yeah, she gonna ask you tough questions. Like, what the hell you mean she don't like you? Like she asked.
Yeah, I'm not
So,
just about to ask you, oh, so
right.
what color did you choose to use on your NFT? What's the most common color on your NFT? Like, who gives a fuck about that?
I'm
Fuck
trying
out
to
of here.
tell him to get his ass over here. Like he needs to understand what the community got going on.
Like
And
we
he was
we not just picture buyers, you know what I'm saying?
hell yeah. I do love art. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, yeah, but there's a difference between an art NFT, right? That's why I be saying. So, is this a art project? Is this a art NFT? Like, if it is, then cool,
You got
great.
Itachi's face covered with Captain America shield.
yeah, they got all type of features from Naruto. That's his. They in the anime culture. I'm more so. I dabbled with the what was that Dragon Ball Z back in the day. My younger brothers they used to watch Naruto. Um, I never dove into it earlier this year. Investing in the project shit. I just dove into it, and seeing what was going on. So pretty damn cool.
is it worth a watch? The Naruto's? I've never watched one there.
Yeah, but you got
I
to
would
get through the
say
list.
I would yeah, you would have to start from long time ago, from the first episode. But it's a slow
Well,
moving. It's a long series now.
you know,
They got a
Boruto
since I
not so
filler.
moved,
much.
They
since
got a
I'm doing the
filler.
Japan thing,
Okay.
you know, like I really want to try and delve into some more of the Japanese anime, right?
Oh man,
You know,
I've been with anime for so long time, but yeah, they have a very strong, vibrant culture over there with that, and also Comic Con and dressing up and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
well, I hope what I think I plan to do is hopefully bring some of that culture to you guys. My wife has a YouTube channel about Disney. She loves Disney parks. Um, but you know, I'm going to try and follow her lead there and do something myself. But
The Nintendo part lit.
oh yeah, no, that's the kind of things I'd probably cover is Nintendo and gaming and NFTs and just Japanese food. But hopefully,
They
you
have a
know,
huge VR room you can go to and stand in that VR room, and it's like that whole room, and it's like crazy. I like
yeah, I want to
Japan
go to
over
that
there.
robot hotel. There's a robot hotel that robots check you in. I did meet a robot in Japan, Peppa, or yeah, Peppa the robot. That's a pretty popular one that they place around malls. Pretty cool shit. Um, yeah, I thought I'd see more robots in Japan when I was there, but I guess not yet. I'm like, where are all the damn robots? You know what I'm saying, Sinos?
No, I ain't into the what is that shit? Squid Games?
They got some
That's
cool
South Korean.
Gundam.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, not
Nah.
interested in that. But you know, Elon Musk is making his robots there, so we'll be seeing those one day.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We
No,
got we
Tuco, look
got
though.
techie,
Okay.
we got techie Devi financial infrastructure peoples in the house. We're gonna have some intelligent conversation today. Y'all better straighten up your motherfucking ties and shit and act right.
Well, just
Oh
way to put
shit!
all the pressure on.
I just hope they provide good information. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know they will. What were you saying,
No,
Death? Or Doctor? I hate saying that, Death. What were you?
What were you saying, Death?
no pressure.
Tell me again.
If you want to see a lot of robots, you got to
Oh.
go to Tokyo.
Wait, if you want to what? Go to Tokyo?
See the robots in the streets, you go to Tokyo or
Oh wow.
Shanghai.
Yeah, no, I've never been nowhere outside of the U.S. Unfortunately, just another poor person in America struggling day to day. So I've had
Well,
a
I mean, it's not
passport for
hard to go to
years.
China. You could go there and they'll enslave you for free. But go there on vacation. I think you'll be able to in the future.
Well, I hope so. Right?
Oh
That's
yeah,
why we're here.
vacation good, living there not so good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
I just want to go somewhere for a vacation. Right? I've never really been
Shit,
nowhere.
come Hawaii then. Fuck, I'll show you the
I'm
fucking
fucking
beaches
poor,
and shit.
bro.
Hawaii is expensive, but I would definitely want to take a trip to Hawaii.
I've never been. I've had
Hey,
a
all you guys
passport.
gotta do is you don't need a fucking passport to come to Hawaii. Shit, we
I
part
know
of
that,
America.
but I'm saying I've had a passport for over, I think, 4 or 5 years, and I don't have one stamp on it, not a one.
Those expire. Yeah, get out there
Hold
and
on,
use
hold on.
that thing as soon as you can. But money, yeah, it's a tough thing for a lot of people. And traveling nowadays seems to be a big pain in the ass, right? But this shit will be kind of over hopefully one day and it'll get easier. When you're traveling the world for business meetings, you get to see a lot of places. Too cold. There you go. You need to set up an international business. Too cold.
I traveled and worked my ass off to travel, but yeah.
I don't know how y'all do it. It's not easy flying on the airplane. Not for me.
No, I don't like airplanes. Bad experience.
I dive with sharks. So
I'd rather if they could just give me
808.
if they would give you a parachute when you take the passenger planes, I think I would feel more comfortable.
808.
I actually
Listen,
would be bomb jumping off and skydiving. Skydiving is fun.
Well, it's a just in case, right? Like I don't want to jump out of the perfectly good plane, but if it's going down, at least I have a parachute.
808. You ain't got to one up us like that. There's no way in hell I would even buy a fish tank to put a shark in. You diving with loose sharks like that's not a pet. That's a wild shark.
Yeah, as long as
Um,
you have a blade or a spear gun, you should be all right though.
Oh, now you all right? When they're in the deep, deep ocean, they're not really hungry. Yeah, it's when they're closer to shore and closer to closer inland, they get more. They're more hungry. So that's when they start feeding.
Yeah,
Did
but
you
for
guys ever hear about that restaurant chain called the Rainforest Cafe? Any of you
yeah,
guys ever go there?
I used to have
Well,
one as a kid.
I worked at one of them when they first opened up here in Canada, and kind of a funny story how I got the job, but they ended up needing somebody to go in the aquariums to clean them from the inside because they were having a really bad algae bloom because the UV machine or something broke down. So it was getting really bad blooms in there. So every day or every couple days or so, I'd have to go into these tanks and scrub them from the inside. And the first day I got the job, they had one lionfish in this one tank. And lionfishes, I think you've seen that movie with um, what's that guy's name?
Very poisonous.
Yeah, very poisonous, right? So, but this fish used to follow me around, and every time I turn around, to be right next to my face, just watching me. And I was like, okay, he's not going to attack me. But then they bought three more, right? So I'm in this aquarium, and I go in there one day, and there's three of them, and I'm like, guys, like I swear they were trying to get me killed so that it would be, a news article so that they could publicize the restaurant or something like that. Like it was fucked up. I'm like, guys, that's way too many of those fish to be in that tank, and you guys don't have a proper medic team to get me out of there should I get stabbed by one of those motherfuckers. So I'm out. Yeah, it was nuts.
That's freaking wild.
It was a small tank too, man. It wasn't that big, and you're swimming around, and I was like, one of these things, I'm just gonna accidentally brush up against it and go anaphylactic or something.
Yep. Jamaica's a nice trip too. Too cold. They got lots of fields over there.
Right
Sorry,
near the beach, boy.
what did I miss? I had to step away for a momento. Did I miss anything juicy?
I was giving you another destination spot.
Jamaica
Oh,
be crazy.
Jamaica.
Dancing.
Ah, Mel. What do
Getting
you? How do
jerk
you say?
chicken.
How do you pronounce it? The Maldives, Maldives,
Maldives.
Maldives.
Yeah, Maldives. I would like to go there. Well,
Over there does look beautiful too.
whenever, right, we make it to that point from this crypto NFT life, I am going to be an Airbnb VIP. I am not going to spend a winter nowhere ever again if I don't
Look
want
into
to.
blockchain and crypto projects that's doing stuff with Airbnb kind. There is actually some projects.
When the time comes, I will look further into that. I got to get there first, right?
Thank you for the invite.
Oh man, right? Plane hopping. Uh Once we start mooning and put on our moon suits and then just be like, I'm out. Fuck this shit. Stamp my passport every time, right? I want to be like the people in like movies and TV shows that
That's
just
what I
like,
told my
"Oh,
wife
wait,
when I
what?
told her to quit
Okay.
her job. I told her,
Yeah.
just
I
tell your
want to
boss guys, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah, I just want to be able to be like, "What? Okay, what? Meet you in New York for dinner this evening? All right. It's 8 a.m. here. Yeah, so I should be touching down about 8 p.m. New York time. I'll I'll get on a flight right now on my way to the airport.
What
Right?
was that, Beast? What was that? Tomorrow, brunch in the middle of the Pacific. Let's
Right,
go.
right, right. Brunch in
Yo,
Hawaii. Okay, I'm coming from New York, so probably not brunch, but probably lunch, right?
I can see right
Uh
now.
Happy hour. Meet you for happy hour.
Too cold pulling up
Oh,
to departures in a limousine, right? Pulling up to departures, just grabbing the bags, leaving.
Why take bags? Well, don't need bags. Just throw it's whatever's in a backpack. If it's not backpackable, then fuck it, right? Just leave it,
Yeah,
chuck it.
yeah. You're going shopping when you get there, anyways, right?
Yeah, right. Don't need no fucking luggage. Just fucking go, right?
y'all fucking with me.
Hi, bro.
Oh, that would be the life for real, right? We can dream, right? That's what we are. That's what all our friends and families tell us, right? About crypto and NFTs and us being in these fucking space calls, right?
Yeah, basically.
You and your internet friends, right?
Hi,
Well,
too cool.
they could have been part of it, but they just wouldn't listen,
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
that's why we're
saying.
all here. We're all here because our real friends in real life aren't interested, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be one day.
Yeah,
And
that's why I
I'm
say
not gonna
that.
be a dick. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna say,
that's
you know
what.
what? I told you. I'm glad you're coming along finally, and just say,
Yeah,
give them the ropes, right? But you should have done a long time ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
I'm
I
I
I'm
agree.
say
hardcore
at
against
some
my friend.
point. Yeah, that's why I say at some point we're all going to be educators, whether you speak in spaces or not, and you just go in spaces every day and listen, whatever. We're all so early. We're going to be an educator at some point, especially to those in our personal lives, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then, yeah, it's just only a matter of time, and I say it all the time too, right? You can not to rub it in their face, but a line I will be saying is, I tried to tell you, right? But you didn't want to make millions and billions with me, so I did it with a whole bunch of strangers on the internet, right?
Uh,
Like people I never met in
That's
real life. I made millions with people I don't even know in real life. But I'm glad you're here now, right?
thank you. Yeah,
Hey,
basically.
that's exactly what one of the things I told some of my friends. I was like, you didn't want to start this journey with me in learning and what we could do until you actually see what you can do. Nah, man, I'm happy you here, but I got shit I gotta do.
Right? Yeah, like it's like, all right, glad you're here and you got a long ways to go. Hopefully you're a fast learner. If you become a trader, whatever, and you sit in front of the charts and trade day in, day out, maybe you could catch up to where I'm at because now I bought in down here. Like, see, it wasn't even 50 cents for XRP when I got in, right? And now you're buying in at like two, three, four, five, $10. So you got a long way to go, right? Because I
It's
got a
crazy.
lot.
It's crazy. Some of though, my buddies right now, they could get better buys at 32 cents than a lot of my buys, right? So, I'm like, dude, I'm glad you didn't listen to me when it was at 95 cents or $1.13. Now this is where you buy. Sorry, I didn't know it was going to go lower like this, but
Yeah,
this
I
is
didn't
where
know.
you buy.
A lot of them I was telling them to get out when it was almost $2. A lot of them I was telling them to buy when it was 16 cents, 5 cents, 2 cents. Shit, not just with XRP, with a lot of shit.
it's the psychology of it all, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's they don't want to buy it when it's red. They want to buy it when it's green and it's moving, right? It's because they I mean, but it does take time to get into that mind concept. But if you could break it down to the average person, right? It's just like walking into the mall or wherever your favorite store, clothing store is, or whatever, shoe store, whatever. It's just like as soon as you walk in the store, you go check the clearance rack first, right? It's on what's on sale. Do they have good shit on sale? If not, then that's how I shop when I go in stores, right? I head there first and then I go to the rest of the store after. And to them, they can't put that concept to to a chart, or not even a chart, because most beginners are not going to know how to read a chart, but they're going to it's so low. Like, I don't want that. Like, people want Gucci because it's fucking expensive, right? But if you spill spaghetti or ketchup on a Gucci shirt, it's just the same as spilling spaghetti or ketchup on a Walmart white t-shirt, right? It's just, it feels better against your skin, yeah, when you spill it, but it's still gonna be a fucking stain, right? Like, I
Hey,
don't know.
Cool.
can I tell a story? Actually, you reminded me
That's a
of.
good one.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, what's up? Okay, go ahead real quick. Yeah, go ahead, my guy. And then we have Combat Kanga and how do you say, is it Koen? Koen in the house. These are our guests today, and we will be getting into it. But go ahead, tell your story, my guy. You guys, Combat Kanga and Koen, go ahead, hit the request button so I can get you guys on up here. But go ahead, Candle,
Hey,
big, yeah.
just a huge one. You mentioned the shirt, the shirt with the spaghetti on it. Um, One of my mother's claim to fame was that she met John Lee Hooker. I guess they were staying in the same hotel, and my mom, when she was younger, I guess quite the looker there.
Uh-huh. Wait, where'd he go? I think you cut out. Is he getting rugged? Is it me?
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
he's rubbed. He's
No,
rubbed.
Yeah. Yeah, you got rugged, Green Candle. I heard mom and looker. That's it.
So too cold. Am I late? Am I late to the show?
Huh? No, we're about to get started right now, actually. All right, Candle,
Okay.
Green Candle, save that for later, all right? Remember your thoughts. All right, guys. So today, as you've seen the tweet, we have Combat Kanga, whose name is Neil. Okay, he doesn't like it when I keep calling him Combat Kanga. So we have Neil, who is the owner and creator of Combat Kanga, the project on the XRPL, and we have Koen, who is a developer, and I think he is with XRPL Labs. Is that right? Or I think so. Is that right?
Hey guys, yeah, that's all right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Okay,
perfectly.
perfect. Yeah,
Yep.
so I do work at Xrpl Labs as
Uh,
a developer indeed.
okay, perfect. So Cohen is, as you heard, he works for XRPL Labs, and he is the creator of the app in your Zum wallet called the Pathfinder app. I'm pretty sure he's creator and worked on some other apps in there, but Pathfinder is a very cool app. If you guys don't know how to use it and never used it, he could break it down. And why Combat Kanga is here, because this is his lane, right? Why Neil is here, he likes to talk dev techie stuff, and he wants to be more involved in the community calls. So why not bring them both here together so that we can hear them kind of talk it out, right? Bouncing ideas and all of that type of stuff between each other, and then join the conversation if you guys understand the language, right? To me, it's like here in French, right? So I'm gonna be having my notepad. I'll be probably cracking a joke here and there because this ain't my lane at all, right? I'm not a tech. I'm not techie. I'm not Debbie. I don't know none of it. 0010 greater sign, less sign. That's all I know from watching TVs and shit,
Same here.
right? So, if you guys want more people to join the conversation and come learn and hear about what we're about to be
Yeah.
tapping into today, go ahead, retweet the room out. Let everybody know that we are about to get this started and have these interesting informational conversations with Neil and Cohen, right? All right, Rex, I see you got your hands up already. What up, my guy?
Okay. Shout out everyone. I don't know if you guys will attend to questions now, but I'm really down to learn, I'm really down to fuck with everyone here, especially Koen and Combat Kanga. Like I had mentioned earlier, I joined the Discord, but I haven't really been consistent on the Discord, to be frank, to be very, very frank. I'm actually a developer too, and I'm looking to be a great dev on the XRP community, And to be very, very frank, I really want to learn from scratch. So I would need the right mentors and the right guys to show me around. Like I said, I'm really, really down to learn.
Well, you've come to the right space call today, right? Because these are two guys it sounds like you could pick up a lot of information from, and they could point you in all the right directions. So, without further ado, let's get to it. What up, boss man? Combat Kanga. What's going on, Neil?
Right. You won't ever drop that boss man, will you?
No, I
Right.
won't.
Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, I think it's probably better if we let Koen take the lead, actually, because I think he's got a really nice app that I was playing around with earlier to tell you all about. And don't want to steal his thunder, but it will. What if it can get some adoption? I think it will really make the whole idea of buying crypto that much more simple for the average person. Not having to worry about DEX and what is a DEX, how do I buy, how do I sell, what is a market, what is an order, all these things that you would need to learn. You don't really need to know. So I was looking at it earlier because I knew you'd be on the call, and from what I saw, it was nice. It was easy to use, functioned as you'd expect it to. And like I say, I think it's going to open the door to the normies, at least to some degree. Obviously, not the entirety. But yeah, so I think it'd probably be better if we actually move straight to him, and because then we can talk about me later, because I think he's more interesting right now. So yeah, there you go.
All
Well, thank
right,
you
so
for the
let's hand
announcement.
it off to our guy Koen then.
Yeah, so I fully agree with how easy the pathfinding is indeed. Because I don't know if you guys seen or tried it out. Like, you should really do this because I think it makes I would say maybe even payments or swapping any tokens on the XPL very easy. Because indeed, what you say, normally you would need to use a DEX because that's the way it used to be. But because maybe an introduction to what pathfinding actually is maybe a little bit better. So what it actually does is it lets you swap one token for the other, or Xrp, of course, which is technically not a token. So what you can do is basically, well, the way what you can do it is, example, you have like a fiat currency like US dollars. And you can swap it for, let's say, Bitcoin on the Xrp Ledger, which the US dollar and Bitcoin would be tokenized. And what you could do traditionally was put in an order on the DEX, and you would offer to sell your US dollars for Bitcoin. But what pathfinding does is actually bridge these two with all other tokens, because if you actually put in an order for Bitcoin, you would see on the Xrp Ledger that it's actually not that many orders on where you could spend your US dollars and get your Bitcoin. But what you can do, however, is have a path that basically says, well, I want to trade my US dollars for Xrp, and my Xrp, I want to trade it for Bitcoin. But instead of doing that manually, the Xrp Ledger actually lets you do a method which is called pathfinding, which calculates the price automatically, and it calculates the path for it, and it creates a transaction, or actually you can do a payment and then swap these tokens around. So there are a lot of use cases in there, and as you can see in the app, it works really easily. And I think especially for payments, like on the go, where you don't have a lot of time of seeing what the best rates are, it just spits out the best rates you can get for even if you want to sell something, you get like a list of tokens. And I think that's pretty cool, pretty cool stuff. So if you guys have any questions like about it, actually how it works is quite technical, but like for you, the user, it should be quite simple, and there's not actually a lot of explanation on it, because the technical side of things is actually quite difficult. how it actually works under the hood with these offers that you have to consume, and there's certain ways it's being calculated. That's actually quite complicated, how that works. But it works, which is why I think the Xrp Ledger, that part of the Xrp Ledger is very, very cool. So yeah, if you guys have any questions,
Go ahead, Neo.
Yeah, I didn't try this when I was looking at the app, but a couple of the questions that came up after I'd used it that were just use cases that I think was I assume you've probably got some answer for. If not, then I guess now
sure,
you will.
sure.
Or now you can think of them. It was just about like when you say I want to see what's available, and it comes up with the potential matches, right? So you want to do you want $10 worth of casino coin or whatnot, and it gives you your currencies and says, well, you can use XRP or you can use Kanga tokens or whatever is exchangeable. And then you can click the button that says essentially exchange. I think this was the word on the button. I can't remember now, but or execute maybe. I'm just curious about the refresh rate of that. So, is it connected to the socket so that you've got a better order book sort of view, and does it refresh automatically? Or if I leave that on my screen, I don't know. My wife asked me a question. I'll turn around, the market shifts, I click execute, will I end up with a result that's very different to what's being displayed? I'm just curious about the accuracy of the final result and how the market shifting can be sort of seen to the user.
Okay, so let me break this down because I think you're asking two questions, maybe, because you're seeing the updates, and that's your question is like how does that work? Like how do you get the price updates, or is it actually like the second part, which is like if you actually click on trade or buy? I actually don't know what the button says. I think it was buy. So if you click that button, that it can keep that price and it doesn't change. Like, is that your question?
I guess I did ask two questions already, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. So when I'm seeing the trade, does that automatically refresh against the market? Which was, I guess, the first question. And then the second question was, have you got a stop limit essentially that says if the market has changed when the transaction actually gets accepted or goes to be accepted, do you do like a second check to see if it's still a valid sort of estimate before you push it onto the ledger? Because otherwise, if it's just I'm assuming you're doing in the examples I think I saw, it wasn't necessarily a market buy, but I can imagine in some instances it is going to make a market buy, in which case the market could move, considerably by the time I actually click or press the trade buy button.
Yeah, so indeed, so let's so okay, then I understand your question correctly. So the first part, yeah, so the updates you actually get them. These are calculated by the nodes. So these are updated with a WebSocket, so you constantly get updates if like the order book changes, and you cannot consume the offers at the current rate, so it will change either in your favor or in your disadvantage. So that's basically how that works. So yeah, you do see all the current prices. So if you click buy and you swipe and you sign it, so you swipe basically in some, then yeah, you're gonna get that price. So the second part is basically like if there's like a time difference when you click buy and actually sign. So under the hood, how it works is basically you specify all these amounts, and if that path doesn't exist anymore, which basically means the prices have increased, so you're not getting it's not in your favor anymore. Basically, you will get an error from the Xrpl that states path dry. So basically, the path doesn't exist anymore. So you need to basically refresh or re-click that button to get that path back again, which will be at a different price, most likely.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so you're quite literally sending a raw purchase with set values, and then you're relying on the ledger to give you a dry path as opposed to. I understand that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Got it.
All right, I see we got 808 with his hand up. Go ahead, my guy.
What up, Koen? Aloha, bro. I just wanted to ask about if you can speak about it. But I've seen that in the AMM amendment that they'll be using pathfinding as one of its source of data providers for that amendment. Can you explain how they're gonna use that inside the automated market maker?
Uh,
You want about the new XLS30 that overrid my XLS30? Is that what you're talking about?
I think it was in that one. I'm not too sure, but I just seen that they were gonna I read in an amendment that they were gonna use the order books and pathfinding as a way to be as a part of that automated market maker.
I'm gonna be honest. I've read it, but I don't quite understand why they think that would be an amendment to the ledger. It's not really what it's for. They want automatic bookmaking and whatnot, but the thing is, or liquidity, but that's not the ledger's responsibility. So I don't quite understand why they did it as an XLS request. It's more of a, well, just go and build it then. I don't. It's not really something that's changing the ledger. So I did read it. I can't answer your question honestly because I don't really know the answer to it. I didn't read it in that much detail. But my initial response was that I think this was not an actual XLS request because then they're not going to be implementing that onto the ledger. It's not going to work on the ledger. The servers aren't going to run this stuff. It's going to be third parties that do this. So to my mind, I don't think it's correct to be an XLS discussion, but I might be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong on that.
So I might have worded my stuff wrong. What I was asking is how they're gonna use pathfinding in the automated market maker bot or whatever program they are building it, because they're going to be using pathfinding and something else. I don't know if it was an amendment or not, but I did see it as one. But I'm not too sure. I wasn't asking if it was going to about the amendment part. I just was wondering how does that pathfinding help with what they're trying to build.
I'm not sure I have an answer for that question. Koen knows pathfinding better than I do, clearly, but I'm not sure that it does necessarily. It might help find some pairs that you can trade, and then, but that's just finding what the current rates are, right? So I'm not entirely sure. I
Sorry,
guess
sorry, Kanga. I was asking Koen.
yeah, so like I don't know either, actually, to be frank. I have no clue how they're going to use this. So I don't know. That's the short answer. I don't know. So cannot give an answer on that one.
No worries.
Because
I just was
because
asking.
because anybody can build on the ledger, right? So just because he created that app, right, and he's the creator of it, doesn't mean that because your app is it open source as well, Pathfinder?
Yes, it is open source, so they can use what he has built. But I just was asking if he knew
Yeah,
anything about
if
it.
he
So
knew about it, yeah. Um,
that was
all
all.
right, I see we got Rex with his hands up. Go ahead, Rex.
Okay, okay, thank you, too cold. Okay, so I wanted to ask you if there's any possible scenario where you could actually bring in a, a Web2, where you could actually bring in a Web2 developed project, you understand, into the XOM DevNet. You understand? Because I've gone through the XOM Dev console and it's quite different from OpenZeppelin on Ethereum and Metaplex on Solana, you know. So I wanted asking if there are possibilities, you know, to actually integrate those, like you build a Web2 defined uh, project, you know, something small, maybe like a small marketplace, or you know, something that you could actually integrate from the Xom Dev console itself to the Xom wallet, then integrate Web3 in it. I don't know if that's something possible.
So you're basically asking if a 2.0 project could integrate with XAM? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
hold on real quick, guys. I don't mean to interrupt. Um, because we have people from all over the world, right? And I know some accents are heavier than others, and it may be hard to understand. So if you guys are having trouble at the very top of your space call, right? If you're in the room, right next to the leave button, there should be three dots, and hit that, and there's a closed caption feature. Okay, if you're having a hard time understanding. Because I want people to get the information. I don't want people to say they don't understand. And I'm definitely not going to put up with somebody coming up here making fun of somebody because of their accent, right? So if you guys do have a problem understanding, just put on that closed caption, and if you need it repeated back to get clearer understanding, in case it didn't come through the closed caption clear enough, you could come up and ask to re-ask, and we'll try and get that question re-asked. Sorry, Conan, but go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, basically, XAM is the API is actually created to integrate with Web2, let's say. So yeah, you can do any project you would like on your website that could integrate with Xrp. So yeah, it's only your imagination that can hold you back. That's the only thing. And yeah, if there's other people that are having questions, because I need to bounce in a couple minutes, so I can do one more thing.
All right, all
All
right.
right.
So again,
Okay.
go
Okay.
ahead, Rick.
Okay, sorry to call. So Queen, and like I mentioned earlier, I would love to be your student, I'm ready to learn. You understand? Combat Kango, same with you, you understand? So I know this is actually an opportunity to reach out to you guys, and I'm actually down to learn with you guys. So please, would you just take me in and try to nurture me? It's something I'm actually down for. Thanks.
Thanks for these kind words. We are creating like with XAM. So what we are creating is like some sort of tutorial which you can follow to integrate with XAM. Someone else in our company that is creating that. I don't know if it is announced yet, but this is something you can really use to. Well, it's not me teaching you how to do anything, but it's a really general concept which you can use. So that's something yeah, you can use. But yeah, thank you. But I really need to leave now. So
Oh,
I
damn.
know it's
Can I
only a
get
short one, but
one question in real quick?
sure,
Since I got
sure.
you and you're part of the Zum team, um, could so I have an unstoppable domain, and I'm trying to understand how to, because it says I could add the Zum address, right? So that's just the XRPL address I add in. I mean the XRP address, right? And I wouldn't be able to get no other coins that are on the XRP that I have in my Zum wallet, only XRP if I use the unstoppable domain. And how do I hook it up? Like I'm having trouble trying to hook it up.
So I don't understand. So you have your unstoppable. So you've bought like an unstoppable domain,
Uh-huh.
and you want to connect it to your Xrpl address, right?
Uh-huh. So I would just put that
Uh,
where the XRP address is. Is that it's as simple as that?
I would say so. I'm not too invested in the unstoppable domain, but I think so. Yeah, if that's an option. I don't know if it would show in XAM though. Um, but if that is something they offer, because I think this is something you have to do with the unstoppable domains. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you can, with the unstoppable domain, you can add any address like Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP,
Right.
Polygon, whatever, right? So, and then instead of sending my Zum address, right, my XRP address, I I could send you my unstoppable domain, 2code dot whatever my unstoppable domain is, instead of sending that long ass address.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if. So I think so. Yeah. I would definitely say so. You can do that. It's as easy as that.
Okay. Well, thank you. Again, so you guys, Conan says he has to go. He broke it down, so you guys might have to run it back, but he is the creator of the Pathfinding app. And if that's an app in your Zum wallet that helps you make a trade without having to go look at a chart or hit a buy order or a limit order. It's just a whole different way, right? Thanks to Chris right here. He showed it to me and walked me through it. And it is it is a bit of an easier way to buy a coin. So really appreciate you taking the time to stop by and conversate with us for a while. I know you're busy and whatnot, so thank you very much.
No
Neil,
All
you
worries.
got
right,
anything
Gwen.
you want to say before he
See you
goes?
guys.
All right, Gwen. Please, I'm in your DMs. Just send me the materials that will actually guide me. You know, then I know I
Okay,
could start.
Rex, do you
Yes,
have
Chief.
the Discord to the XRPL developers Discord? You should probably just head in there.
Yeah, that's a very good point indeed. The Discord. That
Okay.
was there are a lot of guys that can help you out there as well. Everyone can have a look there.
Okay. Can I get an invite?
I'll
You.
send
Yeah.
you the link.
Okay. Hey,
All
bye
right.
guys. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Thank you.
Cohen. Um, so Neil, so you didn't know so are you saying today is the first day that you found out about the Pathfinding app? You've never used it before?
Yeah, I mean, I've never used it mainly because I don't need to use it. So because there's not really a use for it for me. But if you're like uh, if you've been told to buy a certain type of coin, it from what I remember, I think it helps you with the trust line stuff as well. I might be wrong on that one, but I think it does. Um, but the idea of not having to use decks or it just makes it's a step in the right direction. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. There's ways we could make it even better. But the thing is that this is the first step to make it better. And until now, the only way to do it was to find the pair that you wanted to trade and trade it. Now you can say, look, I want to buy some casino coin, right? You might not even know what casino coin is being sold in on the decks. So this just basically looks at your currencies that are available in your wallet and says, okay, here's the currencies that you can use to buy casino coin. And that whole process just makes it easier. And there is a chance that you could get some small arbitrage in there, right? Because you might be trying to buy it for one token, but actually it's trading more favorably in another token that you happen to own, and you might be able to tell that by the offers that you're being seen in the app. So it can also offer you like a better example of the trade. Because obviously the DEX being the DEX, there's only one actual exchange rate, but there are different pairs, and there is a chance that a pair that you have is more favourable, and it could highlight you to that without you having to check, which I think makes it a lot easier. And anything that makes it easier is a good thing. And yeah, so I've not used it until you spoke to me about it, and I went and used it then, and yeah, it definitely has some good points.
What up, Gadget?
Oh, sorry about that, you guys. I was rugging. Um, yeah.
You'll have to listen to the recording to get my answer.
All right, I will. um, what up, Gadget? I see we have another very techie guy, right? Neil, you know Gadget, I'm assuming, right? So you guys can continue. Huh? Say what?
I do. He's a fellow Brit.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys can continue some techie devy language, right? Chris DM'd me and said Gadget is actually a expert on the unstoppable domain feature. So Yeah. Okay.
I just was gonna comment on that too, but Gadget can take that.
Yeah.
Before he does, can I just kind of guess as to the potential here? Because from what I think you were saying, you wanted to use your unstoppable domain as the address to send potentially, I don't know, XRP to. But I think Zum would need to support that as a valid lookup for an address. So like they were there is the possibility that you can use, like, what do they call it, not an open address, but it's something that's similar sort of naming, where they have this concept of an address that isn't your actual wallet address, it's just like an alias.
Well,
But I don't know if Zum support that.
You're thinking of pay string, I think, aren't you?
Yeah,
Beforehand.
that's
Yeah,
called
that's it.
pay
Pay
string.
string. Well done. Thank you, my man. Pay strings. That's what I'm thinking of.
But you can use pay string through your unstoppable domains.
But yeah, what your combat is saying, but Exum already supports unstoppable domains, which I don't think perhaps you realise. But yeah, they do actually already support it.
Yeah,
okay.
so you just have to put your addresses inside.
So I would just put the XR. I would just put my Zum address. My Zum address where it says XRP in my unstoppable domain.
Well, it's not really your Zum address. It's just your XRP address, right?
Wait.
Yeah, just your XRP address. Yeah.
Okay, so my XRP address now. So that would be XRP, but would I be able to get any coins that are in my Zum wallet as well, or just the XRP?
Basically, you can try it on mine. So when you go to send, say, XRP, we'll start with XRP. It's easier. So say if you were going to send, say, Too Cold was now about to send me some XRP, and he didn't know my address, and obviously over voice like we are now, if I want to say, yeah, you can send me some XRP, and I can give you my address. My address is Gadget78.crypto. So you can maybe use that address now in the address field, and then my full like R address, so to speak, would pop up, and you can just select it. So that's how it works. It's just like instead of a pay string address, you've got a domain address instead.
Okay,
and
so
if you're using your X, you can make it into the X address. I think that's what Combat Kango was talking about earlier about the different address.
Yeah, so unstoppable domains, you've got lots of domains. You've got .x, .crypto, .wallet, .blockchain,
.coin, .bitcoin, or like it could be whatever, as long as it's from unstoppable domain. The dot whatever, right, can be whatever from unstoppable domain. Now, okay, so that's easy for the XRP side of things. Now, what if I wanted to send Too Cold coin, right? Or what if I wanted to receive Too Cold coin? Could I put my unstoppable domain address or no?
Yeah,
right?
well,
like anything that's in my wallet.
Exactly the same thing. So say if I had the Too Cold trust line, you'd just do the same thing. So you could just send your Too Cold coin to me via my Gadget78.crypto, and vice versa. Whatever your Too Cold unstoppable domain address is, I could send, say, AFA to you if you had the trust line, and you just give me your domain, and I could just send it on that address. Yeah.
Yes,
just one
thank
thing
you
I
for
wanted to.
clearing that up. I've been
Yeah,
trying to
thanks.
get the fucking perfect answer for weeks now, and people kept like, well,
You
I
just
think I'm
you're
not
asking the
sure.
wrong people.
I don't know. Well, I know, but that's why, I'm glad Neil decided he wanted to come hang out on Tuesdays with us to talk Devi tech stuff, right? To get the right people in these conversations.
Well,
So
there's one thing I want you to know, because there's still something that I think you didn't quite understand, and I think if you don't understand it, lots of people won't understand it. So, have you ever noticed that if you go to an exchange, then you want to deposit some XRP to that exchange, right? And it gives you an address, and it gives you a tag.
yeah, the
And then you're
destination
like,
tag.
yeah, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, actually, I want to send a different coin to that exchange, right? And it gives you the same wallet address with the same tag, and you're like, what? That can't be right. That doesn't feel right, because it's a different coin. Well, it's not a different coin. It's just a token on the same network. So once you have your XRP address linked to your unstoppable domain, any token on the XRP ledger will go to the same address, because it is literally the same wallet. because the wallet just has a trust line to accept the other token. So forget about the fact that it's different tokens, so long as it's on the same chain. You will only have one there. So once you've registered your Xrpl address, your wallet address, with your domain, now that I know Zum supports it natively, the question's not even, can it happen anymore? Obviously, it does happen. Every single token on Xrpl can be sent to that address. Now, if you've got a trust line to accept it, is a different question. But you've only got one wallet, and that there isn't different addresses for different tokens. It's just your one wallet that can accept all these different tokens plus XRP.
Yeah, that's
Hence
very
why
true.
exchanges can accept IOU tokens on the XRPL, but they, choose to take their time.
Well, I mean, Bitrue is pretty good. I'm not shitting them, but Bitrue are pretty good. Anything on XRPL, they add pretty readily. I mean, if it's a Bitrue vote coin, for example, and it's on XRP, this is why they use that branding on XRP. I've just twigged it. But if you're using a token on XRP, then yes, they're pretty quick normally. But some exchanges do drag their feet, like it's a technical challenge, but it's not really.
It
That
really
light
depends. They
bulb
also
just kicked
charge
off.
fee. That's why they charge fees too. Yeah, some of them. So if some of them can pay that extra high fees to list them, then they will streamline that process for them. Sometimes they charge 50K, sometimes more. It really depends. It's crazy.
That light bulb just kicked off, Neil. That's why they're using on XRP. That's why they named themselves that.
Yeah, because you say it without meaning to say it, right?
Yeah,
There's so many sentences. There's so many
uh-huh.
sentences where on XRP comes up like this. A token is on the XRP or on the XRPL. There we go. Got it. Now I know why you called yourselves on XRP.
Viable, what's up, my guy? I see we added you to the conversation. You want to
what's up,
join in
guys?
here? And anybody else down there who wants to join the conversation or has any questions for Neil or Gadget, right? They're very technical with the things going on the XRP Ledger. Hit the request button and come up here and ask. You know what I'm saying? And thank you,
Anybody wants
Gadget,
to
for
Yeah.
buy
stopping
some
by.
Hawaiian blockchain names, I got them. I went ham when Unstoppable was selling a bunch of their domain names. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Viable.
You guys, he already answered my question when he spoke right now. But thank you.
All right, no
What
problem
was
at
your
all.
question? Because it might help other people.
I was wondering if you can use the domain ones, XR or the ledger address or Xum address, but you said it can be just the XRP address, any address.
You
But
can
they're
use
the same
whatever.
thing.
You can use XRP, Bitcoin, ETH address, ERC20 token addresses.
As long as it's on the network, right? XRPL.
Yes. Oh
Got
no.
it.
Well, that's if you want to use XRP. You can use their XRP and IOU tokens, but you can actually use
Any coin.
all of the blockchains that they have available that you can connect using them.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. No problem. And thank you, Gadget, for pulling up, right? I know you don't frequent space calls very often, so thank you for joining the conversation. I will try to keep it clean, okay? Just for you. I will try to keep it a little bit clean.
Thank you very much. You carry on. Your space, not mine.
Check your DMs, mate. I've just sent you something.
Yes, so you guys, we do have some blockchain technical people here today and developers, right? Such as Neil, who goes by the name Combat Kanga from me, right?
You've gone
That's his
slow
name.
mo. You've gone slow mo. Stop it.
His name is Combat Kanga. All right, let me speed it up a bit. All right, his name is Combat Kanga to me. And we have Gadget, right, who is also he has a project on the XRP Ledger as well, and he has a very technical background too. So if you guys have any technical dev questions or anything like that that have to do with the XRPL, or I think they can cover any kind of technical question, right, blockchain wise, because they're pretty intelligent, hit the request button and we'll bring you on up. Join the conversation. This is what we're here for.
I've got to say, is this your new
Oh
too
shit! I
hot
fucking mute.
alias? Is it? What's going on?
Wait, say it again.
Is this your too hot alias? Because you just went slow mo. It was really weird.
Yeah, that's I have a new piece of equipment for my calls. Check this out. Watch this, watch this. Yeah, let's go. You
I don't
feel
mind the
me?
foghorn, but I don't like the slow mo. It makes you sound like, well, I don't want to say.
Okay, well, how about this then? Is this one better?
Bro.
You like that one?
That's a chipmunk.
Hang on,
Well,
Alvin, where's Simon? I think
right,
Theodore's just run
Theodore,
over the top.
Alvin, Simon, Theodore.
Bro, it does sound like it. It does sound like it.
Yes. So what we were talking about earlier, if you guys are new in here, right? We were talking about the pathfinding app in the Zum wallet. Neil has just discovered it today. He was playing around with it for the first time. And if you guys don't know about the pathfinding app, it is a very useful tool in your Zum wallet. Okay, you just go where your apps are, you hit Pathfinder, you hit the wallet address, right, that you're in, or if you want to switch, if you have different wallets connected to your main wallet, you hit the address as the selected address, and then it'll take you to a next screen, and then it'll say choose a currency, right? So this is the currency that you want to buy. Okay, so say I wanted to get Combat Kanga coin, right? Or Alpha coin, right? RD Farty, fucking Farty. Is it Farty? Oh yeah, RD Farty, and all these tongue twister names on the XRPL be messing me up. RD Farty animals, right? I think that's it, right? Is that it, Gadget? RD Farty animals?
Oh
AFA.
yeah, you got it. No, you got
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So RD Farty animals. So say I wanted to get one of these two coins, right? So if I have the trust line already, I would where it says select currency, I would select the currency that I'm looking for. Okay, so Combat Kanga or AFA, and then it'll load up and it'll tell me different paths that I can use to buy it instead of buying it with just straight XRP. So say I had, let's go with XR Doge, right? I do have some, I still fucking have it in my shit. But anyways, I still have some XR Doge, right? So let's say if I didn't want to just use straight XRP, Pathfinder will pull up all the coins in my wallet and show me what coins are available that I could swap with it. Because on the back end of things, it would, so say XR Doge popped up on the list, right? So let's say it on the list that says I could buy Combat Kanga or AFA, XRP will show up, right? That will always show up first. And then let's say some other coins, right? Let's say I have X Alien. Let's say I have Bored Ape Yacht Club, the XRPL Bored Ape Yacht Club. Let's say I have Expectar, right? It'll pull up all of these coins and say that I can use any of these coins to get Alpha or Combat Kanga, right? Whichever coin I'm destined. You can only pick one at a time, but so it will let me know I could pick any of these coins and say, I'm like, fuck, I've been wanting to get rid of XR Doge for a while, but you know, I'm like keep hesitating because of the charts, because of this, and it's the psychology of shit, right? So it makes you feel some type of way that you kind of don't want to get rid of the coins because you're losing out and this and that. So I could hit XR Doge, and on the back end, I wouldn't have to do anything else because it's finding the path. That's why it's called Pathfinder. And it would do it on its own. It would sell my XR Doge for XRP and then go and buy Combat Kanga or AFA, right? Like it it really is a cool tool. I've used it a couple times, and I kind of keep forgetting that it's there, right? But again, you have to remember that when you use the Pathfinder tool, it is going to buy at market. Okay. So if you want to set a limit order, you don't want to use Pathfinder. If you want to get that coin right then, right now, and you don't care, you can use Pathfinder as a way to kind of weave in and out of coins that you kind of don't want, right? But it's not going to pull up every single coin that you have, right? Because they're might not be enough liquidity or whatever in some of the coins that you have in your wallet. So it won't pull up everything, but by chance, every blue moon, it could possibly pull up a coin that you've been thinking about getting rid of. Go ahead, Neil.
I didn't realize it did the multiple paths. Actually, I know Pathfinder's in the name, but I thought it was down to just single pairs. But if it does multiple pairs, then that requires more than one transaction to be signed. So I'm not entirely sure that it does do multiples. Does it? Are you sure it does?
Yeah, no, I've used it. So
It does. It does.
Yeah, you just sign that one transaction the one time. Once you put the order in, it'll go find it and do it itself in the back end, and then it'll be done.
It also utilizes it can go through two order books in different accounts before you receive your coin, but it does it very fast.
So
It
does
uses
I'll have to
paths
check
on
how
the
that works.
Ripple net.
Wait, we can't understand when three people are talking. Who finish up 808 and then go ahead, boss man.
Let your boss man go. No worries.
Okay, go ahead, Neil. Oh,
No,
he's gonna hate that people are calling him that.
don't. Yeah. No, I'll check how it works then, because it's interesting if it does the multiple transactions all in one go. I know. Well, maybe I should swat up on that, but I'm assuming it can do like almost like binded transactions, I guess, where they all succeed or none exceed. So I'll have a look and see how that works.
Yep. It was pretty cool when Chris explained it to me and showed me how to do it. I was like, oh shit. Oh, and then you can also um how does it go? Gadget, do you know how to send by using Pathfinder? Because Chris said I could send a coin that I don't even have in my wallet to you, Neil, by using Pathfinder. Do you know how to do that, Path Gadget?
That's basically the same way you're using it now. You don't actually need to know if you just need to know what they want to receive. So, and then you can then go by what you want to send, if you see what I mean.
And
So
just
you don't have to
change the address it's sending to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you don't have to. So, for example, if you wanted to send, yeah, I think you get the gist.
So
But yeah,
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 in the
so
pathfinding app, you just change the address that you're sending that amount you want to send to them.
yeah, so that would be the very first screen when you pull up Pathfinding, the Pathfinding app where it says select destination. That's the
Yeah.
destination that where you want the coin to end up, right? So
yeah,
if
that's it.
you
You got it.
want yeah, so if I wanted to send it to Neil, Combat Kanga, I would put in his address and then move to the second screen and then say I wanted to send him Alpha coin, and I would put in how many Alpha, I would find Alpha coin, I would put in how many Alpha coins I want to send him. It would generate the list of what it would use to find Alpha coin. So XRP would be first. It would probably, let's say, pull up Combat Kanga, Expectar, XR Doge, this, that. And I would be able to choose any of those options and click it, and then it would find the path, go sell it, get the XRP, and then go buy the alpha and then send it to Neil. Go
Yes.
ahead. As long as Neil has the trust line. And
Yes.
I won't and
That's
say
okay.
I don't even have, let's say I don't have alpha in my wallet at all. I could send him alpha coin without me having the alpha trust line. Go ahead, boss
That's
man.
it.
I'm speaking from a position of ignorance. because I don't know the technicals of how this works, but my worry would be that my initial worry was about the volatility of the market, right? And what the offer I'm seeing wouldn't be the offer that actually gets executed, and yeah, you could get a dry path. When you're talking about multiple paths like this, I'm more concerned about the idea that the transaction could go negatively in your favor quite badly. I need to look into the technicals of exactly how the actual execution works, but some of the things that you're saying there makes me wonder. It might be one of those. It's a good idea. Well, not necessarily a good idea. Sorry, you can do it, but it's not a good idea to do it. So I'm not entirely sure that it's a safe way to send someone something. If let's say it was to hop through 3 different pairs, any one of those pairs could change quite quickly if the support, for example, on a particular pair is low, and you're having to sell into that pair to do the transaction and finish the path. The outcome would be very different. I'm curious about any sort of safeguards around. Well, you can't really do it if you're doing like autonomous transactions, right? You're going from one pair to another to another to another. If you're halfway through the chain, you could stop, but you're kind of stuck holding the coin that you don't want, if that makes sense.
I think Chris explained it to me before that I think, did he say that halfway through it would, I don't know if he said it would cancel out itself if the path went bad,
Yes,
right?
if the path went bad during process, it would cancel out and you would not have sold your XRP or whatever token you got. And it will readjust itself to find the correct path that's going to go through your through what you're trying to find.
But how exactly can it cancel a path if it's midway through executing a trade? It doesn't make any sense.
I think it
Well,
uses.
you would have to go
maybe
and
I'm not understanding it.
What
As
was
far
you
as
gonna
I'm
say,
aware,
Koen?
it uses the fill or kill command on each step, but it evaluates each step before it does them all, and obviously it does have a margin of slippage. And if there's too much, it won't go ahead and tells you it won't go ahead because of the margin. But yeah, it does cancel out if they don't go. If it loses halfway, it does cancel out. And yeah, it does seem to work though. But yeah, there is a margin that does stop if the slippage is too much, and it won't let you do it. And it uses market values on each one. So yeah, you are right. It could be not the best option to send something, but it does allow you to still, there's an option that, it may not be the best option, but it's still viable if you needed to send something of that nature, from a different currency point of view.
But my
Yes.
worry is more like, okay, let's just be annoying for a second and say there's 5 steps. I appreciate the majority of these transactions probably won't be 5 steps, but it might do a sense check before it executes, right? And then it can bail and say, yeah, it's cancelled, nothing's happened. But if you're step 2 into a 5-step trade, and your third step is the one that suddenly is now out of favor, to the point that the outcome is going to be really bad, as in you want to send them 100 and you're going to send them 10 or something. You've already executed the first 2 before the third one can actually execute, because you don't have the actual currency to execute on the third one, right? So it's going to bail potentially on the second one. It can't back out of that unless it's going to then try to then sell the same things backwards, which might mean you end up even worse. So you might even send 100 of something, it trades out into the third step of 5, and then trades back, and then you end up with like 40 or something. I can't imagine that's the case. So you must end up with like the third step's currency, right? I was attempting to trade something that I don't necessarily care about, but that's where it's aborted. And so I'll end up turning my 100 of something into whatever the equivalent would be of step 3 of a 5-step path,
You
because it's
muted
now
your mic. You muted your mic halfway through.
I totally get where it's coming from, but you got to remember there's only ever 2 steps. because you'll only be going
Yes,
from
sir.
your currency to their currency. You won't need lots of different steps because the bridge currency is
That's not
always
too said.
XRP. Because this bridge currency is always XRP. So whatever you're going to and from, you're always going from my currency to XRP, from XRP to whatever currency you're going to next, no matter what you're going to. There's never ever going to be.
Oh, right.
You can
Okay.
see what I
Sorry.
mean?
And it's
I
only going to
misunderstood
show you the
what
path
Tuco
that
said.
it can initiate first. So it's not going to ever show you the path that's not going to be able to solve what you're trying to find. But XRP is always the bridge currency between the pairs you're trying to find. So it's only going to
Okay.
find the
All
paths
right.
that you want to use.
So the technical side of my brain says it should be called the bridge finder as opposed to the path
Pretty
finder,
much, no,
right?
pretty much you're correct. It is bridge finding, but that's what Paths is on top the XRPL ledger, right? Paths is a bridge and a pathway to different data sources. Pretty bomb
I guess in
technology
my
and
mind,
shit, man.
a path is multiple points. It's not necessarily just the bridge. But okay, that was my misunderstanding. Sorry. I thought what Too Cold said earlier, it made it sound like it could hop through, at least two different pairs, not currency to XRP, XRP to currency. The
Paths
output.
define a way to a way for tokens to flow through intermediary steps as a part of a payment. So it is like cross currency bridge.
Yeah, no, I did
Yeah.
explain it like that. It goes from the coin to XRP to the next coin, and then it'll send it to wherever it's supposed to be sent to the destination. And then,
Yeah, I misunderstood you. It's okay. It's not. It wasn't you. It was me. As the classic breakup scenario goes, it's not you. It's me. Or one of the. But no,
eh,
I misunderstood what you said. I thought it sounded like you could almost do some arbitrage between like your source and destination, and the pathfinder would find the best path to source and destination. It's not that really in my mind now. It's just a bridge. So it's going from source to XRP, XRPs to destination, and yeah, okay, it makes a lot more sense now. Sorry, I
yeah,
did say I didn't go into the technicals of how it worked.
and on top of that, right, it's not just XRPL coins, right? Because you could try to find your end destination. You want it to be Ethereum or Bitcoin or USD, right? You can use it for those as well.
But I doubt it.
Yes and no. It could be Bitcoin, but it's still Bitcoin on the XRP ledger. So
That's a
it's
Bitcoin.
yeah. You know what I mean?
It would be wrapped BTC, like how they got wrapped XLM and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better way to name it. Is like a wrapped Bitcoin, just living
So
on the
it's like,
XRP
yeah,
ledger.
so like the token, the issued currencies we have on there, it would be the same. It would be a representation of what you got for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
It's a brave world. If people are going to start fishing in those pools, I'm sorry, that's a freaking brave person, man. That's brave to do that.
Yeah, the liquidity is not there on the XRP ledger. Although GateHub and Bitstamp are really good, to be fair. But yeah, the liquidity is not really there.
I mean, and anything where you're doing a wrapped coin and then hoping to have an in and out that's stable. I mean, essentially, all of these wrapped coins are stable coins, right? Essentially, and that just sounds like a. Well, I don't think I'd participate in that particular type of transaction.
It does quite
Yeah, I
well, though. I
wouldn't
mean,
want to
must
use
admit.
it.
I mean, GateHub is doing really well, and Bitstamp. They're both. I mean, considering us, I don't think people seem to realise that they've got stable coins already on the XRP ledger. It's weird that there's been several hype things going on around on Twitter,
Yeah.
and we've already got stable coins on the XRP ledger. It seems weird that no one seems to really acknowledge the fact that we have actually got that already.
Especially the EU has been working towards theirs one on their XRPL ledger for a very long time, and now you just see the use of it, which is the CBDC up in there, and now South Africa too, I believe.
well, see,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Oh, sorry. What's going on with the you? Because I've had Bitstamp. Bitstamp was my very first exchange, and that's how I bought XRP back in 2017. So I still have the account, but you can't send USD no more, I don't think. right? Because I've had USD sent to me before. So I set the trust line, they sent me the USD, and then I wanted to buy XR. I wanted to buy. I wanted to try to use it USD from Bitstamp myself, and I did it a couple weeks later, and I didn't on the Bitstamp side when I had my fiat. I didn't see an option of how to send USD. Like I kept trying to, like I just couldn't figure it out.
That's because when it's on Bitstamp or GitHub, it's their own token as such. They have now released USDT and USDC of their own, so you can do cross-platform as such. You could say, for example, you can now send it from Exum. Well, I don't think you can actually use Exum, but you can use their platform and send it directly, say, to Bitrue. So you've got USDC, and they can send that now to Bitrue. So that's cross-platform really. But maybe when you did it, it wasn't. It was in a different, although it's still pegged and it's still USD. It wasn't in the same form. It was like on a different network, so to speak. It's like Songbird on XRP Ledger is Songbird and still pegged to the same price, but you can't interact with it or use it in the same manner. So perhaps perhaps what the problem you had maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, fuck, like I can't send this USD. Now I'm stuck. So I ended up getting XLM and sending it to KuCoin to get something else. Like, because I just wanted to try to figure out how to use the USD trust line.
Yeah, see that trust line is restricted. Say as you're on Bitstamp, that is restricted to a Bitstamp USD. So it's like an IOU from Bitstamp for USD. So it's their own. It's like you're trusting them. So although they do now, I don't know if Bitstamp do, but GateHub now do a recognized stablecoin, which is USDT and USDC. So they've got a recognized one, which can be sent directly to Bitrue or Uphold or wherever. KuCoin, yeah.
No, because I was trying to get it into my Zum wallet. That's what I was trying. I was trying to send
Oh,
the USD to the Zum wallet because I
yeah,
wanted.
I
Well,
can't do
Yeah.
that. I
yeah,
can't do that
you
either.
could do that. You'd have to set the trust line and then send it that way. Yeah, you could do that. But if you had a GateHub account, you can actually import your GateHub account into Exum. So you've got full access of your GateHub account in Exum, or however you pronounce Exum.
That's
So,
the best way you should do it to connect your Zum wallet to GitHub.
Okay, I don't have GateHub. I was trying to fuck with the Bitstamp side because, like I said, I had that for the longest. So I was trying to figure out how to like send shit from Bitstamp. But yeah, I'm gonna get another fucking account. Right? This is the crypto life. You have to have 50 exchanges and 200 wallets, kind of.
Well,
Sister, yeah,
I think
exactly.
part of
I
the
have
problem is you can't
many.
send feces through the network. It has to be a cryptocurrency. Shit as a thing doesn't work.
I have many accounts. I've been here since the time where there's no other way to take your shit off exchange except if you know how if you had access to a computer at that time. So I have a lot of freaking accounts everywhere. I got kicked out of some because of some laws that got in place in Hawaii. So I was gonna I can't use Bitstamp. I said could help you. I did have one, but because of our Hawaii laws, they kind of kicked me from using them anymore.
so yeah, you could set up a USD um, account on your Exum wallet for Bitstamp, but you've got to remember you can't actually do anything else with it unless you go back to Bitstamp because it's Bitstamp. Sorry, it's a bit like a too cold coin. It can only works in your environment. It only validated with you. The same as a Bitstamp USD coin. It's their coin, and you have to go back to them to redeem it for an actual USD. It's okay if you transfer to somebody else or whatever, or you can exchange it on the DEX, but it's only got the liquidity of them. So it does get really complicated. The same as GateHub is completely different to the Bitstamp one. Yeah, that's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Well, to see, I'm glad we're here talking about it though, right? Because these are a lot of features that I know a lot of people don't know they could use on the Zum wallet, right? So, and I'm glad it's recorded. They could go back and listen to it, right? Because we have covered quite some interesting stuff today. Unstoppable domain, right? Sorry for the noise. I'm on a patio smoking. And they decide they want to come. They come here so much. I don't even understand. But anyways, we covered unstoppable domain, pathfinding, and now how to like use kind of Bitstamp and GateHub, right, to get other wrapped native coins such as Ethereum, Bitcoin, and USD. Right, a lot of people don't know that they could do that on the Zum wallet.
You could actually use your Pathfinder app. That's be one way to do it. You could use your Pathfinder app, and then you could go directly from your Bitstamp USD to your, to say USDT. I mean, that might actually work. I've not tried it, but that should actually work.
I mean, it could work based on the way that it should work, but there's a rather big difference, I think, between the US dollar IOUs that are on XRP and the other stable coins that are on, say, ERC20 for USDT or something. They're quite different beasts. And most of the stable coins are interoperable when it comes to the exchanges. So you can send USDT in different ways into different wallets, but in your account, it all manifests as the same thing because it is essentially quote unquote stable. All of the ones that I've seen on XRP are just basically IOU tokens back to an exchange. So as Gadget was saying, it's you've got your USDT, or rather your US dollar token, but it might be to the Bitstamp token, right? Which means you can only use it in theory, well, realistically, by sending it to your Bitstamp account, and then they will guarantee that it will be 1-to-1 to a US dollar, right? And then you can sell it for that on their exchange. That's not quite the same way as I would interpret a USDT stable coin type thing, because you can send it to multiple networks from one exchange, and it's like interoperable. So I don't know if it's necessarily the same thing. I wouldn't treat it as the same thing personally. I treat it as a gateway between some sort of token you've got and you've sold it for something which is a stable coin to an exchange you prefer, and that's how you're getting it out. So it's a means of an exit or an off ramp. So let's say you've got some casino coins, right? You sell a load of casino coins for maybe XRP, and then you convert those XRP into a Bitstamp USD token. The point now is that by the time you've sent it to the exchange and sold it, any market volatility you're okay with, right? Because 1-to-1 on US dollars. I'm not sure it's the same use case as the other stable coins, at least not in my mind.
Yeah, it does get complicated. I think it depends where you're going from, why you're doing it. Like you said, it's the representation and what you're doing at the end of it. Because, like you say, you can only use those IUs on that exchange, and they're normally restricted to their website as well. You can't do it within Xrpl or within an app. So yeah, it would all depend. But you could convert it directly on the DEX from one to another. So you could convert it back again to Casino, but the liquidity on those are probably quite low. But then that's what the Pathfinder thing should do.
The DEX is pretty much all XRP, right? On at least the XRP DEX are pretty much all XRP. I've not really seen many to any liquidity on any other pair. I know there's a couple on Sologenics, but to be fair, the liquidity, like I say, is so low, you probably wouldn't be able to make a transaction anyway.
You probably could. I wonder if you could, because that would change it to XRP anyway. So as long as there's liquidity to XRP, which there always is. So if you've got your GateHub USD and you want to transfer it directly to Casino Coin, that would using the Pathfinder app, it would go from that to XRP to Casino Coin. So you would think the liquidity would always be there from that hop.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up perfectly in one word there. Hopefully. Yeah, totally agree. That's how it should work, and I expect 9 times out of 10. But yeah, at least it gives you what it would, what you'd get. So you would have to decide if that's what you're happy with, I suppose.
That was my best answer.
That perfectly summed it up, I must admit.
Love it, love it, love it. I'm glad you guys are having fun chit chatting, right? Boss man, I know you said you only had an hour. So is there anything else that you guys want to talk about as far as technical devy type stuff? Because I don't know where to go from here.
I don't know. I mean, there's a few developments again with XLS 20, the different discussions, two of which that I've created. I don't mean to sound like I'm shilling my own requests, but they're just problems I've found, and I think they kind of need to be addressed. But I think if it rolls into the whole sort of conversation about XLS 20 and people chomping at the bit for when's it going to go live, and there's still, in my mind, there's still some rather large issues that need to be resolved before it can go live. I think the delays in the validators actually voting on things is now becoming a potential problem. So I was speaking to one of my friends who owns a validator, and they're trying to have a discussion around the idea that if you have to be an active validator, and by active I don't mean that you're on calls necessarily, but you have to show that you're an active responder, not just by updating your server, but actually communicating in the news and understanding what you're voting on. Because I think there's a worry that there's a stale amount of servers that are holding back a vote, not because they own a lion's share necessarily, but they own enough to delay a vote from going live. And so there's a few things with the actual process that I think they're still refining. And like I say, with the XLS 20 stuff, there's quite a few things that I think needs to be addressed and fixed before it goes live, all of which would need to be voted and agreed. The code would have to be implemented, yada yada yada. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure that in terms of where we're going right now, it's going to answer anyone's immediate when can we mint question. If anything, at the minute, I feel like it's more of a question mark than it's ever been, because what everyone was waiting for XLS 20, and now people are actually discussing it properly. And I appreciate that's what the discussions were meant to be about. But now people are thinking about it like critically. We're finding problems with the potential implementation. I'm not entirely sure what the outcome is going to be. So yeah, it's going to be another interesting few weeks to months, I think, for this blockchain and how NFTs are going to be delivered.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite some time because one of the problems as a validator runner is that you don't know who else is running a validator node unless you look for themselves, and to communicate between them. The communication in real life is already hard. Is something that's really non-existent in a lot of places, but yes, having the validators run and be a part of actually being up to date with things, yeah, it's kind of hard to actually implement that.
The official validators, as in the ones that have the voting block, the 36 or 38, I can't remember the number now. They are in communication, so they all are in a group. But the thing is that there's one member of that group that has more validators than another, and they might not be as active as everybody else. And when it comes down to something important, or a vote that might be, quite close, that one voter might hold this swing. And if they're not voting, well, in default, they're voting against, right? So I think that their problem isn't that they're not in communication, because they are, but there's certain people that drop out of that communication pool. And I think what they're trying to establish is a way to make it so that if for example, I was to get validated another 20 servers, for example, that would be the lion's share, right? I'd be close to like 40% of the voting block. And if I didn't vote on anything, the entire thing could be weeks or months.
Do you run a
Wait.
validator?
Sorry?
Do you run a validator?
I run a normal validator, but I don't. It's not a proper, as in, it's not a accepted validator on the as a voting pool. No.
How much space do you need to run to run a normal node or validator?
Not a lot. 250 gig hard drive's fine. SSD, you gravy. The normal validators are pretty cheap, but the actual way to get to be a notified validator, I can't remember the name now, but I guess an accepted validator that can vote. It's about your uptime. You have to have an accepted or an agreed rate of in the 90s, and it has to be that way for a set period of time. And essentially, your uptime has to be 999.99, I think, percent towards the network. So most of it's about your sustainability. Once you've been active and sustainable for a period of time, then you can be accepted into a sorry, I can't remember the name of what they call the actual legitimate validator. The ones that can vote, basically.
Is it DUNL? Was it DUNL? Yeah. DUNL? I can't remember the term for it either. Changing the subject, what do you think is the biggest bug or thing you were talking about the XLS20? You said there was a FOOB and two and two big ones. What was the biggest one you would say?
Well, which is the biggest one? I think it depends on what the context is. To be fair, I think the biggest impact. Let me go with the biggest impact on the ledger. The biggest impact on the ledger, I think, is going to be a problem. Is I think I did it as XLS28, marking a NFT as for sale. So the reason I've said this is actually there's actually two reasons that we need to do this, and I've put them both into the same request, but in theory maybe it should have been two. But the first one is that, let's for argument's sake say there's 1 million NFTs on the network, right? And you have all of them, all 1 million. There's nothing to stop you right now from being sent offers to sell all of those 1 million NFTs that you own. Now, imagine you did own 1 million, right? Potentially you could have 1 million offers hit your wallet that you've got to accept or reject. Now, we may argue that the reject has a timeout potentially, but I don't think it does on the actual implementation as it is today. But you're going to get the notifications nonetheless, right? So you're going to get a lot of information sent to you about buying or selling something you don't have any actual use to sell, right? Because just because an NFT is an NFT doesn't mean that you actually want to sell it. It could be an NFT for something you have no intention of selling. Right? Lots of these things could be something you do not intend to sell. But there's nothing to stop the network from sending you an offer to buy something that you have no intention to sell. So I think that alone, bearing in mind that if you actually look at the network and see what NFTs are available, I can find all of the NFTs you own and I can just send you nonsense offers to buy them. I think that alone, even though there is an XRP reserve against the fact that I can send you an offer, I think that's been massively misunderstood. And if I'm a bad actor, right, I can have 1,000 XRP, especially at the price now. 10,000 XRP is relatively cheap, considering the type of annoyance I can cause. I can send a shit ton of offers and they only have to be there for a few minutes, and I can then retract my offer, right? So I can spam the network with offers. I've only got to be lucky and send an offer to someone who doesn't quite understand what I'm sending for them to accept the offer, and then maybe bag an NFT for something that's not worth, what I've offered. And the second part of the problem was the fact that how the offers are made. I can make an offer in any currency, so I can make an offer in USD dot, right? A currency that looks like USDs, but it's not. It's a currency that I've created, a token that I've created, and there's the option for automatically create the trust lines to it basically do the transaction. And I think that's quite risky because I could essentially sell an NFT for a currency that I think was the right currency, but it wasn't. It was issued by a different issuer, but has exactly the same name, but the issuer is incorrect. There's going to be a shit ton, in my mind, of very strange transactions being sent onto the ledger, all of which have to be processed one way or the other. And I think there's a huge influx of data that's going to hit the ledger, and all because you can't say, I want to sell this NFT. Everything is for sale all of the time. And that's a massive, massive issue to me. I think that the obvious thing is that you should at least be able to say that this NFT is currently for sale, at the very least. And then if you try to buy or make an offer to something that isn't for sale, the servers will just automatically reject your offer. That's the biggest one for me, Gadget, by far.
Yeah, that does sound pretty big. Do you think that might be why that's not getting the votes and stuff, because all the validators realise that this isn't actually, or shouldn't actually be up to vote yet, because it's not gone past, although it's on the test net, but perhaps they shouldn't have put it up to vote yet because it's not actually ready for retail or such, ready for the main net yet. So yeah, this is perhaps why it's not getting the votes for it, because they understand that it's not actually ready because of just for that one, like you said, if it could automatically reject it because it was not actually for sale, that's going to save an enormous amount of data and wasted bandwidth. So yeah.
I mean, my suggestion is that we need to solve that problem at the protocol level, which is at the ledger level, right? So you want to make an offer for a token that's not for sale, it'll get rejected. Then nothing gets processed because the validator will get hit. But that's like that's like your perimeter network at this point. It's going to get a lot of shit. You got to deal with it. You're going to get a lot of offers, just like you're going to get a load of malformed requests. It's the same sort of nonsense traffic, but it should be something that is easily rejectable. Now, you could argue that it's actually difficult to cache what is and isn't rejectable, right? Because now the validators have got to cache all the ones that are accepting offers versus the ones that don't, and that could add to processing power. But my argument would be, as a general rule across the network, it's going to be more processing power across the entire network to issue and reject than it would be to cache and instantly reject. And yeah, I'd like to think that this is being thought of, but to be fair, the actual discussions and the feedback from any of the validators is basically zero. So if they are contemplating the suggestion that I've made, they're not commenting on it. They haven't said anything on it at all. There's one person I think made a comment, and that was about it. So I wouldn't know if that was the reason, but that's the biggest reason for me.
Is that on GitHub? Sorry, I spoke over you then.
Yeah. XLS 29, I think it is actually.
Okay, cool.
I see we got Rex with his hand up. Go ahead, Rex. You want to jump in there and ask something?
No, precisely. No, I just wanted to take the permission and step off. My battery is really low now, so. But nevertheless, I'll keep in touch with Combat Kanga on his Discord. All right. Thank you, Combat Kanga. Yeah. Thank you to Code. I got
no problem. Thanks for stopping in, and yeah, join the Xrpl dev Discord, and you'll get a lot more help in there as far as trying to learn the XRP Ledger and the Devi tech stuff. So that's your best starting point.
All right. Thank you very much. Peace out, guys. Peace out.
All right, have a good one. Be safe.
Yeah, I have to go too. My battery's about to die. I didn't bring my charger.
Fuck that battery. No, I was playing. All right, have a good one. Be safe.
Hey, thanks
Thanks
for
for
everything,
pulling up
guys.
and joining the conversation.
Yeah, I'll be joining more often.
And joining the conversation.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
All right. Um, yeah, you guys is getting real into it. I'm just gonna close my mic back up because I don't even know where you guys are at.
So my other my other XLS discussion is XLS now 31. It's been renamed. Although I got XLS 30 in first, I forgot to put the D at the end, so someone else put XLS 30D, and apparently mine's been renamed to 31. But I don't care about the number. The other one that I've suggested is like a type specific quorum for multi-signing wallets, and I think that will really help with things like marketplaces. So at the minute, Xrpl has the option to do a quorum, and the way that the quorum works is that, let's say, for example, you have a wallet, and I'm the owner of the wallet, and I want to let Gadget and 808 send money out of my wallet. Basically, what I can do, I can say that the quorum is 2, the value is 2, so the signature needs to validate at least a quorum of 2 before the money can be sent out of my wallet. Now, my account can have a quorum value of 2, so any signature that I make is 2, therefore it can be left out of my wallet. But if Gadget decides he wants to send loads of money out of my wallet, he has to either get me to agree to it, or he has to get 808 to agree to it. If both Gadget and 808 agree, that's a quorum of 1 each, and then the transaction will proceed. If it's me and Gadget, it'll be a quorum of 3, and therefore the transaction will proceed.
Like a multi-sig kind of thing?
That is the multi-sig, yeah. So my suggestion is that the multi-sig should be done on a transaction type. So, for example, to send money out of a wallet is a transaction type, right? Because you're doing a payment. If I mint an NFT, that's a different type of transaction. And my argument is that if we want to help marketplaces in particular and other use cases as this thing rolls out, and by thing I mean XRPL, I guess. I think that we need to be able to set a quorum value on specific types of transactions against a wallet. Now, why would that be the case? Well, let's say you're a marketplace and you've been asked to mint something into a wallet, right? So Gadget's come to me and said, "Okay, I don't want to run my own marketplace. So can you mint into my wallet for me?" We should be able to say that the quorum for the wallet is 2. So anything that needs to be sent by default on the wallet needs a quorum of 2. My account has a quorum of 1. The mint NFT action against, or transaction type against the wallet, only requires a quorum of 1, which means I can mint an NFT into Gadget's wallet, but I can't do anything else. I can't transfer it out. I can't send money out, but I can do something on his wallet. And that could be extended into all sorts of different types of things, right? It could be someone that can sign on behalf of a wallet. It could be someone can send funds out of a wallet. And who knows what other utilities are going to be added to the ledger in the future, right? So the idea is that it's almost like a delegated task. So minting into your wallet is a task. Sending money out of your wallet is a task. Adding a hook to your wallet is a task. Removing a hook to your wallet is a task. All these things, I think, should be something that could be quorum based, where it's not just a wallet. As of today, you have a quorum value against all transactions, and I think there should be a difference between different types of transactions, which means I can delegate that control or that transaction type to different people to sign on my behalf. That I think would be an amazing addition, and would make it so much more flexible. But again, you look at the type of comments; it's had no comments, and most of the discussions have no comments. So the engagement is still really low on the technical side.
Yeah, it does seem really important points as well. I mean, it's strange that you haven't got any kind of feedback whatsoever.
including from you.
Yeah.
No
To be
one
honest,
said anything.
I must admit, I've never really got into it because I've never thought it was that open that anybody could do it. But if it's just on GitHub, then yeah, I can see that anyone can actually, could actually contribute. And it's actually pretty cool that is actually a thing. I've never really delved into it that deep that's actually a possibility. So perhaps that's what I should do.
Well, any idea is potentially a good idea until the community tells you it's a shit idea, and then you've either got to defend your case and get them to realise why it's a good idea, or accept that it actually was a bad idea, right?
You never
Yeah.
know if it's bad
Yeah.
or good until you get the correct answers for that idea. Or you never know if it can come into fruition unless you never ask or never tried building it.
Well, it's like the actual XLS 30 is the automated market maker, right? I don't think that's an XLS discussion. Go and build it. Go and build a market maker. They're not going to implement that on the actual ledger itself.
There was
Well,
actually another I remember having another automated market maker that came out in 2019. I'm not too sure how far that went, but I know about the one that Son you're talking about.
yeah, it just that particular one for me. There's another one XLS 20 for the XLS 20 upgrader, right, or an NFT upgrader, and it's like, well, unfortunately, it's not the ledger's responsibility to host this as a service, right? Someone can offer it as a service, and that would make sense. But some of the suggestions, in my mind, they're not protocol level, ledger level changes. They're just ideas that someone wants to do. So, well, go and build it then. Don't. It's not a discussion to say, I think someone should build this. Well, okay, great. Find someone to build it and go and build it. Most of the discussions that should be there are something that is at the protocol level, as in the validators should be doing this. The validators should be, enacting a change or rejecting something or modifying something. And hooks is a great example because the validators are going to be accepting that code and executing that hook. So yes, some of them are a little bit odd, if you ask me. I don't think people necessarily understand. And maybe I misunderstand it, but hopefully I don't. But yeah, I think some of them are a little bit strange.
I think
Well,
it's
I
something I'm
will.
not looking to. Sorry,
Oh no, go ahead, Gadget.
that's something I think I need to go into, but I that's a time factor for me. Sadly, I'd love to go into it all this time. I could sit here and talk for hours about code and things like that. But yeah, it is so time restrictive. That's the trouble. It's lots to do and no time to do it in.
Basically, Gadget, what we need to do is make sure that you earn enough money out of the crypto space so that you can actually participate actively as a member. So how much do you need to earn? And let's discuss it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I can't even get enough to keep my sheep going, let alone me.
Your sheep? He's a farmer. Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, technically, I am a farmer, buddy. on the AFA farm. No, sheep, as in like me, the XRPL community sheet.
Oh,
You know
the
what's
sheep.
crazy about the automated market maker is actually been talked about since 2013 on the XRPL for a very long time, and I believe there is some implementations that it being used on the decks that will help out the dex's usage more so. But it has been talked about since 2013 for the XRPL. So technically, it wasn't the one. There has been many different suggestions about it though since then. Yes.
I think that the problem with market makers and XRPL is I think that Ripple's understanding of how they're going to use this thing, markets aren't something they actually want to entertain. In my mind, they need a stable price for it to actually be something of use to the banks and everything else. So I think the whole idea of like a market maker, you can say, kind of pulls like all of the value together into a tight sort of cluster. But the fact that it's a market that's something you can trade I don't know if it necessarily works for them. Is my gut feel. They're trying to add to the idea that they're the middleman between currencies of fiat. So you don't want something that's volatile between the two. So for them, I don't think anything to do with markets and liquidity, short of the fact that there's always someone to buy. It's basically the world's biggest stable coin, I guess. I'm not too sure they're going to be interested in anything like that because it kind of goes against what I think their core structure will be, which is the backbone to transactions between banks, and there can't be any volatility there. So I'm not sure. I'm not too sure they're going to be interested in anything like that. I don't think they're interested in trading at all, frankly.
Be nice to get one to at least get some money out of it, that's for sure. I think Hamato's one is still going strong here, it's market maker, isn't it? I believe he gets quite a bit out of it every day.
Hamato, I thought it was
The people
what?
that
Sorry,
participating in the inside that would is like creating liquidity pools and something like similar to what Uniswap was doing, but it's also called specifically it's called constant function market makers, CFMMs.
Is that a different thing I'm thinking of then? Okay.
The one I'm talking about is the one that David Schwartz was talking about 2013. He has upgraded it from once he first mentioned it and wrote about it. But it's going to be quite interesting to how things go, especially they have DevRaj on block that uses AI technology and market making techniques, which is pretty crazy because AI technology, blockchain, and cryptography is a match made in heaven, to tell the truth, and it's quite scary and wild.
Well, I actually don't think AI is going to work at all in that environment because AI can't predict human patterns that aren't patterns. So
Well,
if you want to do,
if it's something that you're using to find human patterns, that's where you're wrong in applying AI technology. It's in the algorithms of the underlying network that would be used for what they're trying to do it with. But there's a lot of crazy technology that's trying to use
all of the
AI.
networks all of the networks changing by human patterns, right? So you can't, in my mind, well, I don't. Well, what's the purpose of using AI to do what? What's the outcome?
To remove humans out of the
Yes, I get that.
workforce.
Yeah. I don't think that's the answer. If you could, if you're gonna throw a bit of AI in there, I just want to understand what you think the outcome is going to be. 808.
Automation, perhaps? I think that's what the only thing AI is good for.
No, automation's automation. AI is very different.
Yeah, AI is machine learning.
Yeah, we get that, but how would you think AI is going to help with because I said you can't use AI in something that's massively controlled by humans, right? Because it can't predict the inputs. So you said something, and I didn't hear what you said.
$808. He said he missed a piece of what you said.
Yeah, you said I was wrong about something, and what was it? I said, yeah, what was it you said I was wrong about?
Wrong about what? I didn't say something that you're wrong about anything.
I think you did, but I said that if you want to use AI to do anything to do with like the trading and stuff, it's not going to work because of the human input and how the emotion it basically manages the market. And I think you said something around, no, you're wrong if you think that AI is going to be used to the something to do with the underlining of something, and I didn't quite understand what you said.
Also, what I was saying is, if you're gonna use AI, there's certain ways you use to apply its technology depending on what you're building it on. and what you're using it for. So if you're gonna use it to find algorithm in trading patterns, then yes, you can. But if you're gonna use it to chart human behavior, then that's one thing that's very hard to do for a machine to learn human behavior because it's very unpredictable. But there is a
Yeah.
lot of projects that uses AI in psychology and using certain things that can help predict human nature depending on what the human is portraying at that moment. So there is technology that is being built to do that, but at the moment it's not very viable to be used right now.
Yeah, but okay, all right, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so I know a little bit about AI. I'm not a AI master by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh
But yeah,
no, neither am I. I just been studying AI for the past 10 years and a lot of other shit and following a lot of different projects. It's a very that's what I said that's what I mean when I talk about AI blockchain and cryptography being very match made in heaven because they all complement each other in a sense of making each other work better if you're able to interrupt them in a way, mold them in a way you can use to what you're building it towards. If you can find that and build it, man, it's crazy. You're a smart motherfucker.
not sure why AI and cryptology are a match, but um, I think the problem there is that the AI can predict things, right, that are predictable. The problem with crypto is it's actually not really that predictable. So if you look at well, to some degree it is. It depends on the inputs. So if you look at normal like what am I talking about now? Forex trading, right? So you've got certain world events that can happen and they can trigger markets to go up and down. You have historical data which can predict that certain markets will be at a peak at a certain point in the day. All of these inputs can then work to an AI in quotes, and I'm saying in quotes for a reason, to predict what the outcomes of future trading might be, given the fact that you can push the inputs into the model fast enough and process the outputs. So by that I mean that let's say there's breaking news that I don't know Saudi Arabia can't produce oil anymore, right? That breaking news has to manifest into the input to such a degree that the AI can interpret that as oil prices are about to tank, and they can adjust all of their stock or shorts or longs um, to basically take advantage of that news. Right? So there's quite a lot of things that have to happen there for that AI to actually function. And to be fair, to build an AI that can do all of those things would be actually very difficult to do because someone at some point needs to interpret what that news is, negative, positive, and if it is negative and positive, to what degree would it be negative and what degree would it be negative? Um, all of these things have to factor into AI, right? Um, if you're going to do that to crypto, well, unfortunately for crypto, basically all you need to do is look at Bitcoin because the vast majority of all trades now are geared towards whatever Bitcoin does. Now, what Bitcoin does is a fucking mystery to some people and many people. Why does it go up and why does it go down? Well, most of it is due to human reaction. It's not actually to do with any sort of market research or market volatility. Some of it's just fucking random speculation caused to an absolute panic. Well, AI can't predict that. So the idea that an AI can control that type of trading, for me, seems a little bit more like an auto stop mechanism or an auto trade up mechanism um, than I'm going to manage the market for you from an AI perspective because there simply isn't enough inputs for them to actually work out why something is dropping. So I'm not sure AI is actually any use to crypto markets, at least not yet. Again, I'm
But
happy
they
to be
have
very
been
wrong on
using
that.
AI technology for a very long time in the crypto markets, especially going to look for algorithms and whatnot on the trading side.
But AI doesn't look for algorithms, okay? AI is powered by algorithms. You teach an AI, you give it a model, you give it data, it trains against the
Yes, you
data.
teach the algorithms and it can learn itself to look for those algorithms on the market. Hence why do you have those different. Wait, hold on. Yes, boss.
Him about to get in trouble, trouble. let me take this moment to say I feel like a genius today, right? Because Neil here, boss man, Combat Kanga, hadn't used the pathfinding app before. So he learned something new today that I brought to his attention. So I'm feel pretty proud of myself.
That's okay. Every day is a school day, man. You can learn everything. I want to learn more about the AI stuff from 808 because everything I know doesn't really compute against how he thinks it can work. But if he thinks it can work, then maybe I'm wrong. I'm happy to understand that.
Yes, yes. That's why I hang out in space calls all day, right? Pretty much most of the time. Because every day is a learning day, especially in these crypto streets.
Well, I've worked with people who want to use AI to do all sorts of things that AI is frankly not equipped to do yet. Right? They think that it is something that it's not, and it's like no, it's a lot of data pushed into a model, refining it, learning it from it, looking that the output isn't what you expected it to be, and people don't understand that. It has to be something that is basically coached. So you give it the data with what you expect the outcome to be. And when the outcome is not correct, you train the model and you train it more and you train it more and you train it more. And before you know it, yes, then the AI does start to produce the outcome that you want it to do. But it's not because it's intelligent at that point. It's because you've trained it to such a degree that it knows all of the variables and all of the outcomes from the inputs that you're giving it. It's not really the intelligence that people think that it is. It's not that a computer is looking at all these things and calculating, oh, here's a pattern that I didn't know existed. No, I've trained you to see that pattern by telling you you were wrong. That's basically how AI works. And it's a refinement process to the point that once you understand the data that's coming in and the model understands the data that it's seeing, it can then actually generate outcomes that you would not actually predict
So that's what
necessarily
I
as
was
a human.
getting at. It's not that it's learning itself about what's the outcome of when you use AI technology. Is what you like you said, you train it to recognize those algorithms that you put out until it can fully implement itself and learn itself, which is not really learning itself. It's actually pinpointing the different and uncovering patterns in trading software varies from different applications to different individuals, but it just usually lumps them up into a group kind of in a setting in a sense. But yes,
Well,
you're correct.
all
It
AI
does
output is
not. You
basically
have
rated.
to keep trade. You have to keep upgrading its modules and keep teaching it in a sense. So in a way, that's why I say blockchain and cryptography can help AI to achieve certain things that what people don't understand is, like you said, the data it needs to be pushed out to it, and and to make sure that data is secure. You know, with blockchain technology, data can be securely held in a place where the AI can get to, and also have that certain features that can make sure that data is secure and they're getting it streamlined. So yeah, like you said, it's not up to par to where it can be, and most people misinterpret what it is. Yes.
Um, yeah, I wish Bex was here because she's been dealing, messing with the AI stuff pretty heavily recently. So um,
There's been a boom in AI in art.
Yeah, but this is the AI generating art based on descriptions, right? And that's again just a massive.
Yes, not really what AI is.
no, she's been messing with that. I guess there's some app called Replica where it's a AI. Her and Chris been messing with it. It's the AI thing and
Robot that
AI
learns
companion or
as
something
more
like a
you speak to it and the more you interact with it.
yeah, like a text buddy or something, and it's
So pretty
supposed to.
much what
I don't know.
me and Combat, what me and Neil was talking about, the more you interact with that bot, the more it learns of you. Just like how the more we interact with the modules and upgrade the modules that we're giving the AI technology, the more it's gonna learn. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, AI has definitely got it's got its use case, right? But I think that people are massively overestimating what AI does, right? There's certain things that AI can do which are really clever. And I don't know if you ever saw this, but there was a Google Minds AI which was learning how to walk a 3D model across a load of obstacles. Now, obviously, the inputs of this was that there was gravity in the game engine, and the character would collapse, and the engine would have to, well, the AI would have to learn, quote unquote, learn how to get it to stand up. But its goal was to get to a position which was further away on the x-axis than it was. So it needed to learn how to move, right? So it would try to move both feet at the same time. It would fall, and that's a failure, right? So it would basically just go through the emotions of all the different variables of how do I move the limbs that I can move so that I can achieve plus 1x, right? And plus 2x and plus 3x and plus 4x. And then obstacles would be in its way, and it has to get over those obstacles. The outcome of the result looks like it's a fucking genius, right? Because it looks like this AI has managed to get this character to run across a room, jumping and ducking and jumping and ducking over all these obstacles. Well, in reality, there's billions of calculations have been made to actually work out how to get from A to B. And then it suddenly kind of morphs into the idea that now can it actually calculate if an obstacle is coming up, what was the best scenario to encounter when this obstacle appears? And that's when AI has apparently learnt how to jump over, say, a barrel, right? Because it knows that a barrel is approaching, and it can look at the data and say, every time a barrel is here, these are the processes that allowed me to get past the barrel versus the ones that made me fail. And that's basically all that's going on. It's a massive number generator, and it's working out all the probabilities and all the possibilities and all the outcomes. And that's really all AI is doing. It's basically just going through a shit ton of mistakes and realizing which ones were the correct answers and which ones are the mistakes. It's not actually that intelligent. It's actually just really good at calculating failure versus success.
Yeah, I
It's
like to
not
say
like
it's very stupid until it teaches itself not to be stupid.
but even when it's not stupid, it still has to calculate all of the stupid things it could have done before it realizes the correct thing it should do. And that's about processing power, right? Now, a human brain, for example, right? If you're running towards, let's say, a cliff face, right? At some point, your brain is going to trigger and say, actually, that's a cliff face, and you should probably stop. And most people, it's an inert reaction, right? You'll just stop because you can sense the danger. You didn't have to run off the cliff 10 times to realize you were going to die in every single outcome. You just did it because it was human nature. And that's what they're trying to replicate with AI. And at the minute, basically the capacity of a brain is just so immense. They're trying to replicate it into AI. They are getting close, don't get me wrong. And some of the AI stuff is frankly scary. But the processing power alone to do all of this stuff is equally scary. It's not like you can run it on a desktop computer, which
Nope.
everyone thinks AI is going to be. The thing is going to be a little chip that's going to be like on the side of your head.
Just look what the military has to use when they use their AI and shit. They have monster facilities with servers throughout the whole thing, and that's just for them testing shit.
Yeah, it's still a ways off, right? Quantum computing, however, that changes the game. Like, well,
Oh,
almost
are we getting there, Kanga?
mathematically.
Are we getting there, Dio? Quantum computing, man. That's a whole nother rabbit hole too that we can get into.
Well, yeah, I mean, in a layman's terms, quantum computing it roughly translates to every single question is instantly answered. And the best way you can represent that into your mind is imagine a shitload of cogs that are interconnected in a chain, and the input instantly results into an output because as soon as the cog that turns is the input, every single cog in the chain turns, and the output is instantly received because all of the cogs are intertwined. Basically, quantum computing is that. and it's very difficult to explain other than that. So imagine 55 cogs all linked together, and the first cog at the very top right is the input, and the cog at the bottom left is the output. As soon as the cog at the top right starts to turn, every single cog in that chain starts to turn, and the output is instantly received from the input because every single cog is linked. That is basically the way you can explain quantum computing and how a quantum computer calculates it.
The easiest way, I would say. I can't believe you were able to explain it like that.
Sorry?
No, I can't believe you're able to explain it like that, because I cannot. It's too hard for me to kind of put it to words like that.
Well, that's the only way that it kind of works, right? Anyway, quantum computing is not the conversation for today.
Hey, Tuchel, do you feel more intellectual just sitting in here and listening? Because I know I do.
I think she's passed out. I think she's just gone.
Oh, dang. I said,
No, she wasn't listening.
yeah, no, I am listening. I've been sitting here listening the whole time. Yeah, definitely,
Damn,
right?
she's cold, man. She's cold.
I really can't tune in to the conversation, right? Because I'm not very techie and devy like that, right? So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sitting
they
here
lost me at
picking it up.
quantum computing too.
I wish Bex was here, right? Bex would definitely be able to engage in this conversation. This is right up her lane.
Very true, but I like actually that these spaces mean people like the not so techie of us can come in, listen, and actually gain extra knowledge, because I feel I'm learning something, even though I wasn't here for the start of the call because I had my own call to deal with. But thanks, guys, because I'm learning.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good info in here today. We covered quite a couple topics today.
Yeah,
And
I'm definitely listening in later.
Neil is having a field day. Him and Gadget were going at. They were having a good old conversation. 808 too, right? The three of them been bouncing off of each other.
I don't
That's
get
what
to
your
talk to
spaces
Gadget
are
too
all
much
about.
too, man, even though we're in the same freaking Discord, Gadget. Busy
Well,
man.
Two cold spaces making magic happen.
right. Well, we're gonna try to do these not every Tuesday because Neil is busy building and whatnot, but he has said he wants to be out here talking with the community more and whatnot. So hopefully, Gadget, on Tuesdays, whenever Combat Kanga's around, you guys can pull up, right, and start like this could be the tech dev talk on Tuesdays, right?
Well, we probably need to update the spreadsheet, Gadget, because I don't know where we are on the points anymore. It used to be a big deal, to be fair. But
You remember when that was a big deal, Neil? When having high points on his spreadsheet?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And I'm not sure how relevant it is these days because there's that many bloody projects on there. I'm not entirely sure how it'll
I
work.
remember telling him in the beginning that it's gonna be a full-time job just keeping up with that spreadsheet. Because when he first started, it was only a handful. Now, damn, there's like so much.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Totally got it right.
100,000 tokens. What is it now, Gadget?
I think like 250, I think. But yeah, I need to do some serious updating. I haven't done much for the last few weeks, to be fair. And I've nearly shut it down, but then I sort of keep making it better again. Well, not better, but just keep it floating again. Because yeah, it is costing me money now. So, but yeah, I do need to sit down. But it's going to take ages to like, properly update it all and put more tokens on and get it how I want it again. But yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to sit down and just update it. Get all the
Where are you
get all
based,
the data.
Gadget? Where
Just
are
say
you?
again.
Where are you in
The
the
UK. In the UK.
Yeah,
Do you
where?
know? Do you know where Norwich is?
Norwich, Radio Norwich. Aha! Of course I know
Oh,
where
Oh
you
yeah,
my God,
somewhere near there.
Norwich.
are. So
That's not
you're,
that
you're,
far from
you're the
me.
northeast of
Is
the
it not?
East Anglia, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, you're
why
about
don't we?
2 hours from me.
No way. What a small world.
Well, I'm not near Norwich. I'm near Kingston in London. But why don't we try
Yeah,
and get a bit
that's 2 hours
of
the
time
other
together,
side.
and we can maybe look at what it is you're trying to do on the spreadsheet, and maybe do a different implementation. Because I did speak to you about this months ago, and frankly, that was my fault because I said I'd help you, and I'd basically just ghosted you. Um, but I think most of the data on there we could probably portray in a better way, because I think from memory it was as a third party sort of almost like a Excel type rendering thing, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, I've got it going for the website view. I've got it going through some Python just to basically make it because you can have the Google Sheets in a web form, but it's not got any of the frozen stuff, and you can't display any images with links. So all so the social links, so the Twitter, the Facebooks, or the Discords, you can't have an image of, say, the classic Tweety Bird thing. I can't think of the logo, and have it linked. Yeah, Tweety Bird. So you can't have
Oh, the
that linked.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. So you can't have that as a link. You just can't do that on Sheets. So that's what basic. That is a very basic Python script that changes it and reforms it to make it look like it is. I mean, it could easily be made better, I must admit. But yeah, I mean, now it's being hosted differently. That is costing me per month, but that's only not. It's not much, but it is add up over the last few months. But yeah,
Well,
that is something that needs to
I
be
might
done.
be able to offer you some free hosting, buddy. So let's try and get together and see if we can host it together, and I might be able to take that hosting fee away from you. So
It's not. It's not the only thing that's really been hosted. I probably could sort it out, but it needs to be sit down and sort it out, because at the minute that's being hosted on Google, and Google it is on a Google app thing to make it into an app, because the way it works is you have to give it a Google Sheets address, and then it then gives you a HTML back. So it uses the domain on it to give you a HTML back that's usable. So that then gives me back. But I mean, it's only like £2 or £3 a month, but that's not a biggie. To be honest, and then I have to spend a little bit more to get the API service, because obviously what do you call it, querying lots of APIs. Like you got Bitstamp, you got Xrp scan. I've got a few other ones to gather all these pieces of data. Like the Twitter, for example, as querying that to get all the icons. So yeah, all those different things, and that's another £2 or £3. So that ends up being about a fiver or so a month, depending on the traffic. So it's not a biggie, I know, but yeah, it is something that. But I need to sit down really and go through all the data, because, for example, I want to go through the docs data, and I want to make sure some of the links are correct. It just needs to be sitting down for a weekend, literally just doing that like I used to, basically. But
Sit
like you
down for
said,
a weekend and not be on Xrpcraft. Let's just blame
exactly,
Xrpcraft.
you've got that spot on, and that is basically when I stopped updating it or keeping it as fresh as it should be, is when Xrpcraft come out, and I haven't done as much as I should be keeping it going.
Which is funny, Gadget, because I'm gonna be going on Xrpcraft, which I haven't been on.
Oh, don't! It's too addictive. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'll do you a favor, Gadget. I'll take away all of your hosting needs and help you improve your spreadsheet. If you can help me improve my massive area that I've purchased and not actually used yet in Zupcraft.
It's honestly, it's so addictive. It really is. I mean, we've got stuff that we're doing. To be fair, the person who's doing all mine is Animal, which is my son, and we've got some stuff going on at the farm at the moment. We're still developing and making things happen at the farm. We've got some. Hopefully, we want to get it ready for the next the Shroom boat thing that's going to be at the end of the month, and the Spartan Arena. Hopefully, we'll have it done from escape rooms, basically. So you'll transfer, you'll teleport into an area, and you've got to do something to escape back out of it, back out again, or you can quit. Basically, yeah. So you've got like an option, but yeah, that will be restricted. So it's basically a Minecraft escape room, which would be quite cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
It just takes so long, and yeah, what with that and the AFA stuff, I just don't have enough time. And obviously, I want to be messing around on Ripple, I want to be messing around on NFTs, I want to be, and then I've got all the, in real life stuff you have to sort of do generally, houseworks and wives and kids. It's just, yeah, work is just too much to do in one day.
Fuck that job.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I so wish I could. If I could do that, if I could say that to my boss and just walk out, that'd be so cool.
Right. I wish all of us made it to that point. But yeah, I need to get some more stuff built on my land as well, so that I can start hosting games or something in there, and like events or something.
Let's
So
go build.
I haven't touched one. Everything that's built on my land is bought and paid for. I haven't picked up one brick to build anything. When I touch something, I break it. So I just try not to touch nothing on my
I'm gonna
land.
get some land. You wanna just fuck around with me and just build shit and build whatever?
But that's the thing. I don't have time to sit in there and build, right? I was doing these space calls, tracking down projects, like getting everything.
Fuck these space calls. Nah, I'm just
Man.
playing. I'm just playing.
Yeah, right. The one day oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Who's blatantly hitting on you then? Come on, accept the invitation and build something on Xrpl with him.
Man, do you know what happened? The one day and a half that I didn't respond to anybody on Twitter or put up a space call or hop in a space call to listen into. Do you know what happened? Do you know
People
there was
was sitting in the corners.
yeah, there was APBs out for me in my DMs. I had comments tweeted out to me. I got Discord. I got people chasing me down in common Discords we're in. I got DMs in Discord. I was like, damn, I can't take a like I'm chilling. Like I'm taking care of some stuff. I'm all right, y'all. I'm all right. Everybody's like, "Where's Too Cold? I haven't seen her like at all today. Like nowhere. I didn't see her in no space call. She's not hosting a call. I haven't seen her type anything on Twitter. I haven't seen her like anything. Like, yeah, it was a mess. Now, let me do that and be up in Xrpcraft all day. I don't think that's gonna fly with too many people, right? And they're not gonna be very happy about that.
Yeah, but you will be. That's the main thing.
Right. No, I have fun in the space calls, right? I enjoy doing them. I enjoy sitting here listening, learning, like, passing information, all of
No, they're
that.
really good. They're really good. It's nice to get the community together and all talk and chat. And you do all learn something. And it's like Combat said, every day is a school day, and everybody you meet is always something that you don't know. They always know something that you don't know, and you can always learn from someone. And that is the whole point of life, I think. That's getting a bit deep
That's
there.
the beauty of life, like, and having these spaces, we're able to talk and share our point of views and listen to others and their point of views. And by doing that, we are opening our own minds and receiving knowledge that we probably thought we couldn't get, or come up with ideas that we don't even think of until we have these kinds of conversations. And having an open mind and into receiving all this really helps. So yeah, thank you guys for sharing your guys' thoughts too. Yeah.
I actually have to go now because it's a bit late and I need to get up early in the morning. I've got lots of marketplace stuff that I'm still coding, and it's very close, and I need to get it done by the end of the week. So I've got
No,
to
no,
peace
no.
out, y'all.
You stay right there. You stay right there. Where you going? Where you going?
What? Oh, you didn't even mention. I just posted some stuff in the Discord about all of the order history stuff that we've been tracking on you guys. Not that it was like nefarious tracking; it's obvious blockchain interactions and stuff like that, so that people can't say that I don't know I minted a token and I didn't get an NFT and all that sort of stuff. So there's loads of screenshots of a surprise feature that we're going to be releasing with the next load of code that Mark has been doing. So if you go to the Discord, you'll see all the screenshots of all of the order history and stuff. It's quite nice.
Yeah, no, I've been looking at it, but I haven't been able to read it because I've been listen. I can't read and listen at the same time.
Women can multitask. What's wrong with you?
Well, I have like ADD bad, right? So I get distracted real easily, and then it just be a wrap. So, all right, boss man, thank you for pulling up and coming to talk tech talk with us, and dev talk. We appreciate it very, very much. We will catch you next week, maybe, hopefully, right? If we have some stuff to talk about.
I think next week there might be some other news about other subjects, but yes, hopefully.
Hey, we should actually bring up a subject before that Tuesday comes, man. That'll be good.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, like I said, we could make Tuesday, tech talk with Neil, Combat Kanga, however you want to title it. I could start doing that. That's not a problem at all, right? Let's get more people joining the conversation. Hopefully, we could get Bex in here as well, right? This is right up her lane. Have a female that actually can talk your guys' language, right? Because I can't. But yes, we appreciate it, boss man, and we appreciate you too as well, Gadget, for pulling up and joining the conversation. Hopefully, if you got time next Tuesday, if we throw it up, you could jump back into the conversation as well. And thank you, 808, as well, right, for adding to the conversation too, my guy.
Just call it out and say I was adding my 2 cents.
Right. So,
well, poor guy, I've got to do a needless shill. Buy your Kangas, pre-mint them now, use them as your icons. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Don't worry about it. Every space call that I throw up, I talk about. I mention Combat Kanga some way, somehow. So,
well, we're close. We're close to pre-minting 20% of the entire collection. Not far off.
Well, how many more do you need? Because I haven't pre-minted my ones yet, so perhaps that's what I should go and do right now.
Come on, Gadget. If you've not experienced the pre-minting, then Jesus, man, you're living in the 80s, son. Come on.
I keep going to do it and I get distracted. I'm so easily distracted. I just sort of end up on a different path. But yeah, I think that's what I'll go and do them now. Actually.
Yeah. See, we're on the same page, right? Me and Gadget get easily distracted. I know you got kiddos too, right? Gadget. It's fun for the kids too. You let them hit them buttons and whatnot, right? Let them feel like they're part of it.
My button to hit and see the spinny and get the Kanga at the end. Still waiting for my buy orders to fulfill so I can just do it again.
Yeah, it's a cool experience. The card shuffle, there's sound effects, all of that. So it is it does kind of become a little addicting, right?
These are all spoilers. They were going to ruin it for me. Don't give him no more spoilers.
No, telling you about it is nothing compared to doing it. Trust.
Oh yeah, once you do it, you want to do it again.
Talking here. I'm not used to that kind of talk.
You can't just do it once, Gadget. You've got to do it over and over.
Yeah. Oh, and this too, right? If you pre-mint 5, you will be a beta tester for the game when it's ready for beta testing.
Well,
and if you pre-mint
already.
Huh?
So
Say
somebody
what?
fill my buy order already, then I'll have my 5.
And then if you pre-mint 10, you will be airdropped a dingo once XLS 20 goes live. A dingo for free will be airdropped to you if you pre-mint 10.
Hey, dingo dollars.
You see, I need 10 before XLS20 as well. So it's like every week I'm buying a Kanga.
There we go. You heard it
Although
there,
last week
boss man.
I did a double, didn't I? I got two because and I'll say it loud and proud, I sold Stake X to buy Combat Kanga.
Yes, that's what we need.
Good on you.
Right. Oh, and also if whenever you pre-mint a Combat Kanga, you will get 7x XK fuel airdrop to you as well. So you need to set the XK fuel trust line, and that is found in a Discord in the how to buy section. So every one Kanga you pre-mint, you will get 7x fuel, and you can use that for boosters in the game and whatnot, in-game purchases, buying your Joey packs, and you could use it to buy an NFT board if you have 60. So the NFT board is you instead of randomly 100% pre-minting one Kanga, you will be able to randomly see 5 Kangas and pick one off the board that you like, but you still need to exchange your Combat Kanga token in for that. But you could buy the board to see 5 instead of just being randomly given one. So I
Or
think I
10
explained that right.
if you get 100 Kanga fuel for a 10 cardboard.
Yeah, so if you want to see 10, you could spend 100 Kanga fuel and then have the option to pick one off the board. So those are the different experiences on the Kanga marketplace right now.
And while I'm shilling, in the next week or so, the marketplace is probably going to be live. So we've been testing it this week. A couple of more UI things we need to do, but essentially, even though they're pre-minted and not actually XLS20 minted yet, you'll be able to put your Kangas for sale for XRP, and essentially other people can buy them from you. So if you've minted a gold Kanga, for example, and you want to sell it, then you'll be able to put it on the market for whatever you want to try and sell it for, and see if you can find a buyer. And you can do it in two ways. You can sell it directly by a buy it now price, for argument's sake. Let's say it's 1,000 XRP. But you can also open it for offers, and then you can set a minimum offer. If someone makes you an offer that's lower than that, it will instantly get rejected. But if they make an offer that is equal to or more than the offer but less than the buy it now price, then you will be sent that offer and you can choose to accept it or reject it. If you accept it, they have 24 hours to pay. If they don't, then your Kanga goes back on the market, and their offer gets expired because they haven't paid. But yeah, that's how the marketplace is going to be functioning in the next week or so.
That's dope. And so when that goes live as well, will the dingoes be up for sale at that point, or no?
So I want to get a little bit of like hype around what the dingoes are. We've been so busy on what the marketplace is and how we're going to do it. The dingoes, although the artwork is practically done, there's a couple of corrections on some fire ears. But other than that, the collection is actually done. So what I want to do is kind of prime the audience a little bit and say, look, the dingoes are going to be available on a date, so that at least people can, go there at the date that they can buy them. I don't want to just arbitrarily just drop them live, because I don't know if that's going to necessarily be in anyone's favor. But yeah, I mean, the marketplace is taking our full attention at the moment, because once the marketplace is live, dingoes, kangas, and the third faction, which I can't mention, all of it will be available on the marketplace. So once the marketplace is there, and if dingoes was to go live the day after, then you could see dingoes in the marketplace quite literally the day after. So the marketplace is quite important as a part of the platform. So the dingoes will come after the marketplace.
Okay, sounds good. And then do you have the floor price as of now, or you're still working on that? Because dingoes, you won't need a trust line. right? And it's not going to be because it's not a token, so it's going to be a straight buy with XRP, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So there's no tokens for the dingo. So we actually asked the community what they wanted, and they said they didn't want tokens, which is fair enough. I can understand why they don't. You either want a dingo or you don't, frankly. If you want to buy the token to trade, I think that's a big negative, really, in some of the collections. So the prices we did originally want to put the prices the same as what the Kangas were when we released those, but when we released the Kangas, XRP was basically $1, or $1.10. Clearly, that's not the case anymore. So I think that the XRP value will be different for the dingoes. I need to be a little bit cautious about what that is, because I don't want people to feel like it's overly charging for it or anything like that. But equally, we have to consider the price of the Kangas at the same time. So we need to make sure that it's kind of the correct price. So I don't know what the floor price. I say the floor price. Basically, we're going to be doing it in stages. So the first 500 are going to be at the lowest price. The last 1,000 are going to be at the higher price. That's how we did the Kangas. So we're going to do exactly the same model. I'm just not entirely sure what the starting price will be, because by the time we release the Joeys, or sorry, the Dingoes, I'm not entirely sure what XRP is going to be worth. So it's one of those hard to answer but truthful answers, is that they have to be worth enough for the project to succeed. And if that means that the first 500 dingoes are more in XRP than the first 500 Kangas, well, that's because in monetary terms they're not the same value, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense, right? Like you said, you released Kangas when XRP was at $1, so makes sense to me. And then what was the other question I wanted to ask about the dingoes? I wanted to ask something. Oh, so dingoes, they're going to be used in the game as well, right? We will be able to use them as fighters in the game.
Yeah, so basically the way that it works is the Kangas are one faction, the dingoes are another faction, and the other faction is yet to be revealed. We'll reveal it when the story reveals it. But essentially the each faction has a different fighting style, I guess you could say. So the Kangas, although they're experts at punching and kicking, they're actually more adept at defending. So they're kind of the hero class. They're defending their land. If you're watching the story and listening to the story, you'll appreciate that they're the moral defenders of their land. So they're actually very good at defense, but when they do hit hard. The dingoes are more creative, so they're not as strong as the Kangas, clearly, but they're quite adept in using their environment. So the dingo class is more heavily geared towards luck and utility, and that's how they will perform on the battlefield. So the Kangas will have a good defensive strategy. The dingoes will have a good utility strategy, where utility cards will be quite important to a good build for a dingo build. The third class is more of an attacking class. So their defense is a bit weaker, but their attacking is stronger. And that's the counter to the Kanga, really. So the third faction is more about a rush sort of strategy, I guess you could say. So they're more about the attacking than they are the defending. And it'll be quite interesting to see how the three play out. How do you play a dingo against the third faction? How do you play a dingo against the Kangas? And how do you play the Kangas against the third faction? It'll be quite interesting to see what the types of decks are that people create to try and defeat the opposition. But yeah, it's the dingoes are a playable character. They have a whole set of cards. They have a whole set of cubs, so they're not called joeys. So the dingoes have joey. The Kangas have joey cards, and the dingoes have cub cards. And then the third faction have something else, which I can't name because if I do, you'll know what the faction is. But they have their own set of cards too. So yeah, each one is unique, and they've got their own like weighted traits against either defense, utility, or attack.
All right. Sounds good to me. Oops. All right, boss man, thank you for that information. I will be letting that information be known as I host these space calls, right?
Cool. Right, I've got to go, guys. Sorry, don't mean to be rude, but I've got to go because I'm going to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 10:30. So I need a few more hours sleep. So I've got to go.
All right, boss man. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.
That's wrong. Now you sound like a man. Like slowing down your voice.
All right. Good night, boss man. Have a good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Catch you later. I'll be heading off as well because it's getting late here. I need to catch up on stuff before I
All
have
right.
to head. Hey?
Cool. Thanks, Gadget. My guy. Appreciate you pulling up and stopping by and joining the conversation. It was a pleasure having you for sure.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's been good.
No problem.
Chat.
All right. Have a good night. Hopefully we'll catch you on the
Bye.
next one. All right.
Bye.
All right, guys. I think that concludes where we're at today with the tech talk, right? I'm going to get this on the YouTube channel as well because there is a lot of good information in here. If you missed it earlier, we were talking about the Pathfinder app. We had the creator of the Pathfinder app that's in the Zum wallet. He was here and he broke it down for us quite a bit at the beginning of the call, but he had to leave. And then we started going down some other conversations, unstoppable domain and the Zum wallet, how that's can be applied, and using pathfinding to possibly buy like wrapped Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of good conversation in here. If you guys are joining late, you might want to run it back and pick up some of the things that were being laid down. So with that, let's get on up out of here. Let's call it a day for shit. I gotta think of a funny name for this one, right? XRPL, Two Calls XRPL presents what? Tech Talk with Combat Kanga Tuesday Tech Talk with Kanga, whatever, something, right? But we're gonna get up out of here. I might throw up a call later if I get bored, right? But for now, I'm probably gonna try to roam the streets and see what other calls I can hop into and tap into and pick up some information for myself, right? So appreciate y'all for stopping by and joining the conversation next time, guys. So y'all be safe out in them crypto streets. All right, y'all. Too Cold is gone.